Yo, what's going on? It's your dog Artman the Great. And I'm late as fuck, but hey, check this out. I'm on this motherfucker, so can't complain. Look, hold on, man. Let me make sure my shit's together. Oh, man, let me let everybody know I'm live right now. My shit was tripping, dude. I had to wait to get a charger and all that shit. What the fuck? Hold on, y'all. Yeah, yeah, let me let my people know we on here live, though. Yeah. Said, Art, man, what's up? Nah, what's up with y'all, man? Look, we just been doing our thing, man. Selling these shirts right here. Hold on, look at that. Fly shit on. Let me put it on the camera real quick. Fly shit only. Haney versus Loma. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, man. I can't wait to do the final design of that shit though, man. When they actually step in the ring. Cause Haney gonna style on that dude. And that brings us to today's topic, dude. Why the fuck is Loma so damn quiet? It's like you hear more from his fans than you hear from him these days, man. And I think, like Haney said, it's because that man knows this is his last fight. Come on now. He know it. He know it. It's his last fight. He gonna get cooked. Said Art, man, that design is too clean. Thanks, bro. Man, I really been working my ass off, dude. Like sending these shirts out and then having time to paint client work and then have my record fucking 9 to 5, dude, man. Art man been working for real, for real. And it's all for a good cause, man. It definitely is. But yeah, man. Devin Haney, he says this guy, Lomachenko, he quiet because he know he about to get cooked. And a lot of people on Loma's side are like, oh man, well, Loma, he's getting old and and all that shit, man. Fuck all that, man. Keep it 1,000, dude. You know damn well, regardless if he was old, young, or whatever, he got to get cooked. And wait, didn't y'all say Canelo was too young when he fought Floyd Mayweather? I believe Devin Haney's around the same age that Canelo was when he fought Floyd. And I'm not saying Lomachenko was Floyd, but shit, man, y'all said he was better than Floyd. Come on, man. Y'all said he was up there. Bob Arum even said that motherfucker was better than Sugar Ray Leonard and Ali. So yeah, let's go on it. Let me go ahead and send this link out to my bro D Hive real quick. So I just want my shirt. Is this who I think it is? Is this who I think it is? That can't be my dude on Twitter. That can't be my dude. Ain't nobody say he was better than Ali but Bob. Ain't nobody correct him. Motherfuckers was going with that shit. Yeah, I mean, the Matrix. I mean, I've never seen no angles like that before. Oh, the angles, man. Fuck them angles, nigga. Stop playing, man. I don't like this
Yo, what's
whole.
good, bro?
I don't like this whole. Lomachenko is old and washed now, and all this shit, dude. I don't like that
Those were
shit.
Haney's own words, though. Those were Haney's own words. He
Yeah,
said it.
he said, look, because he already knew he can whoop this dude, and he already knew Loma wasn't that type of guy. Look,
Mm-hmm.
let's keep it 1,000. Devin Haney still deserves credit for this W because one,
100%. 100%.
one,
I agree with you.
Lomachenko was seen as the next great. Lomachenko, what? He only has 2 losses.
Yes. No, he's got 3. No, yeah, you're right. You're right, 2. To Tio and to that cab driver he fought. I forgot his name. Salvador. Oh, Salito.
Toledo.
Salito. My bad. Yeah, Salito. Yeah, so he's got those 2 L's. Um,
But yeah, and
to be.
let's and
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I like that Devin Haney said that because it's the truth, man. Lomachenko ain't all that. He's not
So,
all
all
that.
right. So, hold on. If it's true, So if you agree with him, so then why are you saying he should get all this credit for beating Loma, who's old and washed up? If you agree with what he says,
just like Ryan Garcia, media and fans prop this guy up instead of the black fighters. So the black fighter got to go in there and destroy this guy and show you guys that I've been the one the whole time.
Okay, but to be fair too, at the time they were rating him, you know, when they were saying he was greater than Ali or whatever the hell it is, and they were saying he was number one and they had him above Crawford and whatnot, that was when he was in his prime. Right now he's 36 or some shit like that. So at
35.
the worst, 35. Okay, so he's not the same guy. We know look, he's not the same guy.
Lomachenko, this is how I rate Lomachenko. I don't rate him as a guy that, I see him as a better fighter than Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Gervonta Davis. No. But I do consider Lomachenko better than the rest. I don't see many beating him besides like a Frank Martin or, you know, whoever. But I rate him higher than the rest.
I mean, I tend to agree with you. I don't think he beats any of these guys that you just named. Yeah, maybe Martin, he gives him a good fight, but I still think he loses. But anyways, no, I agree with you, bro. Like, I'm 100%. He should get credit. Because guess what? Lomachenko can still fight.
Ryan Garcia.
Man, you would beat Ryan Garcia, bro. That ain't saying shit. Like, yo, that ain't saying much. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. Like, I would pick anybody to beat Ryan Garcia. Honestly, at 135 or you're.
I was watching Ryan hit the bag, and
he's horrible.
I thought to myself, like, man, maybe I should have took this boxing shit more seriously. Because the fuck?
He's terrible, bro. Look,
I could do this shit 1,000 times better.
Bro, Ryan Garcia is he just was a guy who built himself up off of his looks, his image. If you look at his Instagram, bro, he's got like 2 million followers, something like that. 90% of them are girls. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, nothing wrong with that, no hating or nothing, but you can see like this guy was never really about boxing. Bro, how you have Joe Goosen in your corner and don't improve? Come on, bro. Like, are you kidding me? It's like having Freddie Roach in your corner or whoever you could think of like is the greatest trainer.
But did you hear Joe Goosen what he said though?
Yeah, he said he only trained 2 days a week, and then the rest of the time he would train at his like little garage or whatever training area he's got at his crib. You know, like I could never take Ryan Garcia serious. I don't understand how anybody believed in him. You know,
bro,
I never did.
People bet thousands on Ryan Garcia to beat Tank.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, what?
It's ridiculous. What's his didn't your boy what's his name? Didn't Jamal put like 20,000 on him? Crazy. The fuck? Like, yo, at that point you just gotta hate on Tank to be willing to risk that kind of money on a guy who, like, honestly, in my opinion, he's first of all, he's way too green. Number two, he's really not that skilled. His best win is Luke Campbell, and let's be real, what has Luke Campbell ever done? Nothing. You know what I mean? So they built this kid off of pure hype and is based off of his looks. He was supposed to be the next Oscar De La Hoya, and he ain't even close to it. You know, he talked himself into the fight. I mean, props to him. He walked away with probably, 15 million in his pocket, but he's not good. He's nothing more than a marketable name. That's all he is. He's not skilled, bro.
I think they fooled y'all into believing he was marketable because what the fuck? Like,
I mean, he did.
There's no record of him. There's no record of him fucking being super successful in boxing.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Typically, the biggest fights in boxing usually have a black fighter and a Hispanic fighter, right? Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, Canelo Floyd, yada yada.
It has a FBA fighter against a black or a Latino.
Yeah. FBA fighter, sure.
Because when you say black, motherfuckers just put like, oh, Richard Comey. Look,
they say anybody.
I'm like, nigga,
what? Ghana, they got him on there.
Okay, all right. Okay, a foundational black American. Okay, sure. And usually a Hispanic fighter, typically a Mexican fighter. Yeah. Usually those fights sell out. So they did. I think it was 1.4 million. I believe that they did. Let's be real here. Like, Tank didn't bring all of that. You know what I mean? Like, half of that came from Ryan's people.
Half of that really came. No, I wouldn't say it just came from Ryan. It just came from the fact that Ryan is a fucking Latino that's talked about.
Right.
Yeah, and then I think boxing was just ready for a big fight too. Like, I think the market's still there, but they just want the names. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, motherfuckers to support like some decent shit. You know what I mean? But
and the fact too, bro. And the fact too. that the undercard was complete and utter trash. Like there was not one good fight at all, other than the Morell fight. That fight wasn't even that good.
That was brutal.
And that shit. That undercard was horrible.
The afterburners on that nigga. That shit was funny.
Man, I was like, man, that's fucked up.
But the undercard in general, bro, was complete trash, bro. But it still did 1.4 million. You know what I mean? So that's why I truly believe Tank Davis when he says that he's the face of boxing. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, too, when it comes to Ryan's marketability, after his mental health crisis, his situation was a toss-up. People didn't have legitimate faith in him. What happened was that Tank, because they felt that because of the initial shine that they got, they talked his star power back into existence. Because I tell you this, if Tank had just ignored Ryan, I strongly doubt he even would have did that, $1 million get at Staples against Fortuna. I doubt he even would have did that. It's because Tank aggressively pursued Ryan not once but twice and kept his name in the news cycle specifically for the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give him this. I give him his props because he talked himself a good game. He had people believing in him, and he was able to secure the fight.
He talked a good game. That shit was bullshit.
He talked a good game up until the fight got made. Yeah. Then he was
I didn't believe a word. I don't think he ever even meant what he said.
I don't even think he believed it. All that shit he was saying on the Mike Tyson show, I'm gonna knock him out in the second round. Like, get the fuck.
Talking about 2 rounds.
You're gonna need a staircase, boy. I'm gonna knock you out. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he talked. He was talking a good game, trying to sell the fight up until the fight actually got signed. Then he started to get real depressed.
All that old backtracking and rehydration, crying and shit.
Hold on 1 second. My pops was a victim of propaganda, bro. He really believed that shit, man. He was like, man, Ryan Garcia, he a good dude, man. He can fight. All that shit.
Well, he don't like the mental health.
I had to sit him down. I'm like, Pops, you gotta understand. You notice these highlights that you're seeing don't look like high definition, like clear, like they just, like it was recent, because it wasn't, Pops. It wasn't recent. The clip with him and Mike Tyson, that shit was like 2 years ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There's a big gap between then and now. Right. And my pops was like, well, damn all that. They saying he good.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's crazy.
They say he good.
I could tell that his skill level wasn't all there based on how Sergio Mora calls his fights. Because whenever that dude is calling a Ryan fight, he always goes, "Oh yeah, he's young, he's handsome." I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Oh my God.
Boxing, please.
Right, and the reason why he does that is because there's nothing that Ryan does well. He doesn't do a single thing well. You can't say in any fight, even when he's dominating, there's a single skill that he has where he does something well.
One thing I do gotta say though, to his credit, he was fast with that left hook, but that shows.
No, he wasn't. He was not fast.
Shit. It was
how do you miss?
He threw that left hand.
I mean, it's fast. It was fast. It was fast, but when you know it's coming and you know that's all he got. I mean,
yeah.
All right, man, that shit was slow and telegraphed.
You said it was slow and telegraphed?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? And I believe that too. I used to believe that. I used to be like, yo, he's so fucking fast. But then when he got in there with somebody who had good timing, he looked slow as shit. Gervonta said it too after the fight. I don't know if you saw the epilogue. He was like, yo, he was slow as shit. He's not that fast.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dude, I don't know. It looked kind of fast to me.
Bro,
it looks good on the bench.
I think we all saying the same thing in different ways. He was fast, but I think it was just the placement. And then, like you say, the predictability of it. He be seeing that shit.
I mean, watch the Togo's sandwiches fight. Look at him. Look at him in there, slapping his hooks, telegraphing everything, looking like a bozo. Like, come on, bro.
He's straight dog shit, bro.
I don't even think
what's
Ryan
crazy too?
Fight for real after this shit, bro.
Hell no.
I think
he probably movies and shit now.
Yeah.
He probably on that podcast, do some commercials.
I hope Prograis get the fight after that weak ass signing.
Man, Prograis is a man, bro.
I'm about to boo boo his ass.
I'm about to put Prograis in the goddamn dirt. My goddamn self. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, don't get it twisted. I knew he was on some weird shit once he got quiet when Matias became champion. I knew that fight was that fight was maybe far off, maybe 2-3 years from now. But Matchroom, nigga, and Ryan,
it's way too much smoke at Top Ranking PBC to be signing a Matchroom at 140.
And the thing is, I know why he's doing that. He wants to get a Ryan fight. Okay, cool. Ryan not gonna fight you.
He's not gonna fight you.
Ryan is not gonna fight you
whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck is you doing? You was complaining over at Pro Bellum about the caliber of opponents you were getting, swearing up and down you was ducked. You get a belt, and then you go sign up with Matchroom to fight the same dudes you were complaining at Pro Bellum about? Man, get your high yellow ass the fuck up out of here, Regis.
And I straight fuck with Prograis, but he just make the wrong business moves, bro. He boo-boo 2.0, bro.
No, man, we gotta call it what it is. He pussy. It smells.
He ain't pussy.
Yeah.
When it come to business decisions, the way he whoops the Pater and he fought Josh, you can't call him no pussy.
It's vaginal energy because you can have easy unification bouts. I'm talking Rolly is about to become champion off whoever the fuck he's fighting. He's fighting some old dude with like 20 knockouts. So as long as he guard his grill, he'll be okay. You can clip Rolly, get some practice in. You can clip Matias, become unified, and then you can go see Taylor after. If now Taylor's definitely pussy. I don't know if Taylor will ever rematch.
Taylor pussy.
But Taylor's absolutely.
Oh man, that's extreme right there. I don't know about all that.
Absolutely, because I thought he lost the first Regis fight. I really
no
did.
Sir. Yeah. He had dog in him. Every time Regis would throw 2, he'll land 3. He just gave everything he gave him. That's why I edged it. That's why I gave it to him because you know what I mean?
I gave Prograis that fight by 1 round. There was a draw round too. I had 1 round to draw, but I gave it to Prograis by 1 round. I thought
them swing rounds can make a big difference though. So I feel you on that. Yeah,
so it wasn't a wipeout. I'm not saying that Regis didn't get beat up. I just thought he pulled it off. Yeah. But at this stage in Taylor's career, I don't think he would rematch Regis because I think Regis would get his ass.
Yeah, me too. He wasn't quick to jump back in there with him at first. You feel me? So shit, you already know. But you know what I came to talk about, bro? Y'all got Lomachenko fucked up. He gonna knock Devin Haney ass out. And y'all
you tripping
up there, man.
Wait, hold on.
You tripping?
And you gonna send my T-shirt the next day. I want my T-shirt fresh off the press, nigga.
Out?
Nah, no way. No way.
Man, how is it not a way? Y'all act like Linares didn't have that boy fucked up for 2 rounds, running for his life for 2 rounds. Y'all act like Lomachenko don't get inside that jab. If he don't dominate him with the sheer power,
but this is not the same Lomachenko though. That's what we were talking about in the beginning.
I think Jermaine Ortiz give a lot of them 135 boys props.
I was about to say, didn't Linares put Lomachenko on his ass?
But
then Lomachenko stopped him though.
Who won that fight and in what fashion?
Yeah, he stopped.
Come on now. Come on.
After losing plenty of rounds, Lomachenko needed a stoppage at that point.
He's fighting the big ass Linares.
He needed a stoppage.
But man, look, y'all gonna say that boy was weight.
And also, but I'm not gonna lie. The Linares stoppage did look weird. He just took a knee and then that was a wrap. Like it looked kind of weird, but it's all good.
That straight left to the sternum was kind of like.
Keep in mind too. When Loma stopped Linares was in the top pound for pound. Devin got cracked by Linares. Linares was washed.
And he was a big boy too. Loma wasn't supposed to be fighting at 140. You feel me? He was a big boy from that straight.
Lomachenko is bigger than Tank. I'm not gonna do the whole he shouldn't be at 140. That kind of conversation.
Be at 140 neither.
I'm getting because people are trying to say that Lomachenko is too big for lightweight, and it's like stop.
No, I disagree with that, but I do feel like 140 is big.
Hold on. Why did Lomachenko go in there and get his ass cooked by Teofimo Lopez, bro?
Nah, he started late, bro. He started late,
bro.
Yeah,
and if you watch the middle rounds, he pieced up.
He was piecing up Tio.
But they're talking. They
said he was injured. They said he was injured, but you know that's here. I don't know the.
Y'all are talking like Lomachenko didn't go the distance with Luke Campbell.
You act like Lomachenko didn't beat Gary Russell ass. Not the
Luke Campbell was his hardest fight.
Right? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here?
Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell is not part of the fight.
But no, listen. Hold on. Artman, you said let's dissect it.
What would happen if Devin Haney fought Luke Campbell?
Well, let's go one at a time. Let's go one at a time. So who wants to go first?
Okay, so really quickly. So he asked, why did Lomachenko wait so long to start teeing off on Tio? So the problem was that Lomachenko had the wrong game plan. What he anticipated was that Teofimo Lopez was going to wear out by round 5, round 6. He was gonna. That's what that meaning. I'm gonna take you into deep waters and drown you. That's right. What that means.
I can see that.
I
they
believe
said
he had an injury. I believe it was a combination. Like when people
can y'all still hear me? My fault. Somebody called. My bad.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, but my fault. Like I was saying, so that's what he anticipated. The problem is Teofimo didn't get tired. So, but as you can see, after round 5 all the way up to round 12, he was piecing him up,
piecing his ass up with the cleaner shots.
Absolutely. I think it was a combination of not only what you're saying, but I think it was also a combination of being concerned about Teofimo's power. He was coming off of that. I'm not sure if I forget if he had a fight in between, but he was coming off. He was coming off of the Kobe knockout where he, won the belt with basically one punch, and I do think that was a concern. And Teofimo, he doesn't get enough flack for it, but Teofimo is fucking huge. Teofimo,
absolutely,
Teofimo is fucking huge. He's a goddamn
his
welterweight.
Fucking shoulders. Jesus Christ.
He's a welterweight fighting at 135 and 140. So let's get that out the way. But I think one of the things that tells me when it comes to fan analysis of Devin Haney is that whenever you're criticizing his game plan, you can only point to like split seconds worth of errors, whereas other people have entire rap sheets and sometimes whole losses full of errors that they make in fights. And
I agree. I agree with that for sure.
And another thing I'm going to say is, with all due respect to Lomachenko and all what he's got going on, is I think that a definitive outboxing of someone is a better indication of skill level than a knockout, because boxing is physics and motion, and I'm not trying to factor in luck here, but sometimes things happen. Things are in the right position and you're able to get a knockout. That's not to say that Lomachenko's not talented.
I was just going to say, what are you trying to say, my boy? Because that sound like you're trying to discredit the knockout.
Lomachenko's knockouts?
No, I agree with them.
I discredit plenty of them. A decent amount of them look suspect, but that's just my opinion. So I didn't mention it. That's just
I agree with him though. Like, him saying outboxing somebody, takes a lot more skill than knocking somebody. He's 100% right, and it's a lot more difficult too. He's 100% right.
Right, and that's also not to take away from people like Tank and Beterbiev, because a lot of people get Tank and Beterbiev fucked up. They make it seem like they're not elite boxers.
Yeah, because they're setting up those knockouts. Them motherfuckers is gonna be no lucky ass.
Right, exactly. That's not to say that getting a knockout doesn't take skill, but when you're looking at it, when you're in a situation and you're analyzing boxing skill, even when I'm dealing with a knockout puncher, I say how I analyze it is I say, could they still win that fight without a power bailout? Would they be in a position to box their way out of that situation if power wasn't there to bail them out? And 9 times out of 10, with people like Tank and Beterbiev, I'll say yeah, but with Lomachenko, I'll be like,
so my boy, so Loma don't get props for look at this resume, my dog. He don't get props for finishing Walters when Walters was at his prime, getting rid of Russell when he was undefeated, making Rigondeaux quit, beating Nakatani. Like, motherfuckers acting like Loma just some Rudy Pooted. But I hate the hype that they put on in the media. They make him the great white hype, and I think that's why he get the
man. Bob Arum said this motherfucker was better than Ali.
Well, Bob got to do his job.
I was about to say, where's Lomachenko?
He's got to.
Where's Lomachenko not getting praised though? The dude was pound for pound number one. Where's he not getting praised?
No, I said he Bob praised him too damn much, and ESPN put him too damn high at the wrong time. But I feel like his resume
numerous times that this man was undefeated when he wasn't.
Yeah, they straight lied. And look, they straight lied and deleted this shit.
Look, you don't do errors like that twice. First time you can be like, all right, okay. Second time, like, all right, nah, nigga, y'all know exactly what y'all doing.
Yeah, I mean, you know the propaganda. They doing the Gennady Golovkin. They doing the great white hype push. You know that, but I do feel like his resume.
What you think about your man? What you think about your man Lomachenko being super silent though? Devin Haney said he's super silent because he knows this is his last.
I think he locked in. I think that better have more than that jab because when Loma get inside, it's ugly.
But hold on though. When was Lomachenko known to be a trash talker or somebody who even really talked? He's always been this way.
Right.
No. Not just the trash talker. This man, he did do interviews explaining how he's going to do so and so to the opponent months prior to the fight. Now with Devin Haney, it's just like the last thing we heard from him was, "Oh, you're a lightweight. You look like heavyweight." That's the last thing we heard from him. There's no, when I fight Devin Haney, I'm going to think smart. I'm going to do this or that. He's not even trying to build up the fight at all, bro.
And I wonder why ESPN hasn't called that out, too, because that's a little weird on the money.
Because you remember how they did Wilder. Wilder wear headphones to the press conference. Oh, my God, this nigga here.
I think it might be because of the political implications of this fight. They don't want to put the spotlight on this fight because there might be some nonsense in the works. This is Devin Haney's last fight on Top Rank as a top rank fighter. He has He's carrying the lightweight division on his shoulders, and if he leaves, that means that all the belts leave. And we all know how Bob Arum and Top Rank get down. It's been this way since the 80s. So I think they don't want to put the spotlight on this fight because there's. I'm not saying that this is the situation, but there could be some fuckery involved. And best believe I will be scoring the fight round by round.
I was just finna say, and that's more in Loma advantage too, because I think the fix might be in for him to win. Like if Devin Haney has to dominate completely for them not to give Loma that, because they don't put Loma right in with Shakur and do they little plan because
and Shakur is gonna knock him the fuck out.
Shakur gonna knock who out? Haney?
No, Lomachenko. But Shakur's gonna stop Lomachenko. If they fought after Haney, Shakur would stop him.
I ain't never seen him.
He beat the shit out of him.
I don't know.
I think so. I think if that's what ends up happening, then of course the plan is to just feed Lomachenko to Shakur. Because I'll tell you this, I don't care what anyone says. Bob Arum knows that Shakur will have an easier time getting the belt off Loma than he would off Haney.
But the payday is setting up the Tank fight right after Loma. I can see Loma saying, "Fuck Shakur right now, take me to the bag."
I don't think that Loma will fight Tank at this stage in Tank's career.
Shit, for them $1 million pay, for them millions of dollars on the table,
it would have to be Loma's final fight, because at this point where Tank is right now, Tank would break his fucking neck.
And I agree, But on Loma, at Loma age for a cash out, I'd rather cash out against Tank than
absolutely.
Shakur.
Well, hey, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even really want Lomachenko to get this fight because I don't think he deserves shit after all the help he's had in his career. I was hoping it could be like Lomachenko could fuck off, and it could be Devin versus Shakur for undisputed, and then the winner of that fight, Tank. But unfortunately, we here now, and my eyes are definitely going to be on it.
It could be though. It could be though if Devin wins the fight.
So wait, Loma,
the plan is to feed the winner.
Loma resume ain't
Shakur.
better than Tank's and Devin's. Loma resume, you saying the hype that they gave him, like his resume don't speak for itself, bro.
But look at how he got those fights. He was consistent. He is still consistently put into title position after losses. I mean, they're doing this. They're doing the same thing with Teofimo. He's over there cutting the line over fighters who have fought their way into position and getting a shot at Josh Taylor.
With him, I agree, but with
Lomachenko, it was the same situation. Lomachenko took an L and then got in another immediate title shot.
No, I agree, but you got to win those fights, though. Now, I do believe the propaganda is in his favor, but you still have to win those fights, bro. They tried to put Diego De La Hoya up there and put him somewhere, and look where his ass is. You know what I mean? So
Diego De La Hoya never had any hype on him. His only hype was he's Oscar's shitty cousin. That was.
Oscar put him in fight shit. You get fights because of the name shit. All that shit playing.
But who was he fighting? He ain't fighting nobody real.
I mean, he just headlined something. He just headlined the card, is what I'm saying. I'm saying you get an opportunity to display on the bigger level.
Them cards,
those fights.
Them cards in like Compton or whatever, they're not doing no numbers like that. Like they're not doing.
I ain't say numbers. I just said you got to win the fight though. So if you get, regardless of how you get the fight, you still got to win them once you get there. That's all I was saying. I feel what you saying, but Lomachenko resume of Walters, Rigondeaux, Linares, Nakatani, that ain't no shit you just get easy. Like you got to win those fights.
Rigo is what he's most famous for,
look,
and that's
if Loma is washed at the age that he is, then motherfucking Canelo is, right?
I don't think Loma washed. I don't buy into that.
I don't think Loma's washed either.
I don't believe Canelo washed.
You're only as good as your last fight.
And I thought he lost that motherfucker. I thought he lost that fight by a round.
Like that
who you think Loma lost against Jermaine Ortiz?
I thought he lost by 1 round, yes.
What I'm thinking is that fans are really hoping for some type of a miracle, or hoping that Devin Haney's off his game, because there's no legit plan of Lomachenko beating this guy. How is he going to do it? Because we already seen that if Teofimo Lopez little jab can fuck him up,
it wasn't just a little jab,
stronger jab with a right hand that follows going to fuck him up. And I don't know if you guys been seeing Devin Haney train recently. That man's been practicing fighting in the inside and definitely getting to the body.
I don't think that's a particularly good idea, especially in the beginning. But the reason, we understand that Devin Haney's southpaw toolkit is limited. But what y'all got to understand is the reason why y'all often overrate the effectiveness of southpaws is because there are so few of them. Very few fighters actually gain that southpaw experience, and southpaws have advantages over orthodox fighters because southpaws fight lots of orthodox fighters, but orthodox fighters fight very few southpaws. But even still, not only is Lomachenko vulnerable to certain other things. But Devin Haney is one of those fighters that's capable of making adjustments, that's capable of having enough power to keep people off him, or at the very least being able to apply enough power to get people to reset so he can restart his offense. I do understand. And then there's the video of boxing gyms comparing Devin Haney to Shakur Stevenson. We get it. We understand. But based on where Lomachenko is at in his career, based on Devin Haney's situation and his skill set, I think Devin Haney is going to get it by split decision. And I think that's what it is. And like I said, I'll be scoring the round. If Lomachenko legitimately wins, I'll give him the fight. But if he don't, I'm gonna be there.
So the only thing I'm worried about was Devin versus Loma is Loma's very good with angles. You know what? One thing I noticed in that last fight, he wasn't really doing the angles.
I think Ortiz speed was a lot about that too, though. Ortiz I think he give a lot of people at 135 problems low key. I can't wait to see what he does after
Ortiz is good. Ortiz is very good.
Yeah.
So you feel like that fight was more of Ortiz being good or Loma falling off a little bit?
Ortiz being good.
Ortiz being good. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My biggest issue, the only thing I'm concerned about with Lomachenko, and this is the only thing I'm concerned about, Devin Haney got to neutralize that straight left. Because one thing as an orthodox fighter that Devin Haney does as his primary form of defense, he bends over at the waist to the right. That's right in line with Lomachenko's straight left. If Devin Haney can neutralize that straight left from round one, it's up. His decision is over with. But if he can't, that's a fucking problem. Because all that inside
one thing too, Lomachenko likes to do this thing where he when he clinches, if the ref is not looking,
he'll push you over and punch you to get a knockdown.
Yeah.
All the East Europe fighters do that. Triple G does it. Better BM does it. Gvozdyk do it. They all do it.
Or he'll quickly try to break out the clinch and punch you.
Punch you on a quick inside body shot or some quick shit.
Yeah, they learned that in the Eastern European amateur system. American Olympians complain about that every year. They're fighting dirty because that's what they do.
Shit, it's the dirty.
That facts, he leans towards the right big issue.
Oh hell yeah! If he do that with Tank, they catch that uppercut. That shit is
a wrap. Much. I don't see Devin Haney do the shoulder rolls much. I feel like he kind of stepped away from that.
Yeah, he keep a high guard, mate.
You can't shoulder roll with smaller opponents. If you're significantly bigger than your opponent, you're gonna allow some of your body to still be available for attack. So shoulder rolling a smaller dude doesn't make a lot of sense.
Do you think Lomachenko will be able to get past Devin Haney's jab?
Yeah, it's not strong enough.
No, it's strong enough. Just Lomachenko's crafty. He'll get inside at some points.
It ain't. I feel like it's gonna power jab. That's more like that's a difference. I feel like this guy
Lomachenko's gonna have to be. He's really gonna have to be on his game cardio wise because Devin Haney does throw a lot of punches.
Right.
And for you to be trying to slip all of those punches and then try to land two as well. Well, this guy has a longer reach and he's taller. And would you consider Devin Haney faster or no?
Yeah. Especially when it comes to hand speed, but not on the feet.
He has to deal with all of that.
Yeah, I agree.
To deal with that for all 12 rounds, bro, that shit makes you tired, bro. And then on top of that, you're taking punches.
And one thing I will say too is that when it comes to the Linares situation, people talk about Devin Haney running for his life. First of all, there have been plenty of fighters, including Ryan Garcia, who did the same thing in fights. Second of all, it wasn't running for his life. It was to prevent getting a knockdown in a situation like that.
Running for his life. That's AKA running for your life.
How can you simultaneously be running for your life while allegedly being accused of hugging somebody?
Because you're running from the inevitable knockout. Yeah, that's what they mean, running for your life.
Where was he running if he was holding him?
Because you can't run out the ring, so I'm gonna move around and hold you. Like I'm preserving myself. I'm being defensive to not get knocked out. That's what people mean running for their life. He wasn't as offensive as he was in the earlier rounds. He was staying safe because he had pretty much won the fight. It wasn't no reason to risk it. You know what I mean?
But I'm trying to ask. You're accusing him of running for his life while holding some dude.
To me, that's the same thing, bro.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never heard that before. Like usually when someone talks about running for your life, it looks a lot like Shakur Stevenson in the last round with Valdez when he's just trotting around the ring. Devin was neutralizing his offense by holding him and to make sure that he didn't, to make sure that nothing happened. And also, we got to be honest about something. You could have a personal thing against Devin, but after the 12th round, he was pretty much back to the regular engagement that we saw in the first 7. It wasn't like holding and hugging all
after people. The 12th round.
I mean, after the 11th, sorry, in the 12th round. Yeah, but people often exaggerate that. But again, His whole career.
I don't have anything. I'm cool with his dad. I'm actually in Oakland for real. Like, I'm cool with his dad. I have nothing against him for real. I'm just not sold on him being the top dog at 135, and I think Loma gonna have something to show for that. I don't think he possessed. I think he got physical attributes.
I don't see how people can say that. Like this guy.
That shit is crazy.
Does not have skills.
Lomachenko took an L at 135. Devin Haney's the undisputed.
Okay, you don't view it as a.
Oh my God, Muhammad Ali. Okay.
I'm just saying you can't bring up an L like that. Just make you like less of a fighter.
But really think about it.
That's pretty significant.
You cannot blame Devin Haney for being in the position that he is in. All these fighters had the opportunity to collect these belts, and guess what happened? Niggas took L's on the road. Some niggas said, you know what? I'm not even going to join the tournament.
And Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. Let's get that on record.
Exactly. And then on top of that, Devin Haney beat all those dudes to get the belts. Man, let's keep it 1,000.
Devin Haney was a fucking child.
Beat all. Loma resume is better than Devin Haney.
That's cool. Why'd he duck him?
Now that part I don't know. Now you got me.
Lost to Teofimo Lopez, and then we went into motherfucking Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos.
Devin Haney couldn't even legally drink a beer.
Kambosos to Devin Haney, and Devin Haney won that fucking fight.
Yeah.
Too fucking bad that Lomachenko lost, nigga, in the first round. Not the first round, but when it comes to the scale or the tournament system, this guy fucking lost. Sorry that he couldn't make it to the top of the totem pole. He lost. But now he gets an opportunity to fight Devin Haney, the winner. So let's see how that goes.
Devin Haney could barely drink a beer, and Lomachenko could have got this dude out the way, snatched all his hype real quick, and either been undisputed if he had beat Teofimo, or the lightweight division wouldn't have had to go all this nonsense. But because people was ducking around and fucking around, Devin Haney got a shot and capitalized.
I agree to that. And like I say,
you
get in the fight and you win. I give Haney all the respect in the world for holding them 4 belts, but I do think there's a gauntlet that he's yet to run, and it ain't Kambosos and JoJo Diaz and Linares.
Why did
Loma
Lomachenko forfeit his belt to Devin Haney?
And also, didn't Linares have 3 losses at the time he fought Lomachenko? Like, we really calling Linares prime for Lomachenko, but wash for Haney? Like, come on.
No, I didn't say. I mean, they were at different points in their career. I mean, he was at a different point in his career when he fought Haney. We can't ignore that, bro. Like, that's the fact. But
that's fine. But he was.
I'll give one more than another. I'll give him both credit for beating him because I think he's a solid 140 mug. You feel me? But I don't think he was at a different point in his career. So you got to factor that in.
I mean, that's fine, but he also had at the time 3 losses when he fought Lomachenko. So I just the people make it seem like there's like a massive difference.
No, that ain't no big scalp on Lomachenko. It just helps to my list of proving my point of how good he is. I think Rigondeaux and Walters and Russell and Nakatani and Linares is a nice list. It's, you know what I mean, with 17 fights, bro. Ain't too many. These motherfuckers out here with 40 fights and ain't got them type of names on their resume.
We got to use context. I mean, I'm not going to go into it and break down Lomachenko's resume, name for name, because I've done it already. But if we use context, we can understand why it's reasonable that Lomachenko's actually had the career that he's had, meaning the losses that he's also taken. Like someone like Salido too early on, and then someone as skill limited as Teofimo being able to do what he did. I picked Lomachenko to beat Teofimo, but Teofimo beating him was not shocking to me. I was like, oh, okay, well, is what it is.
And let me just add this. Now, 2 of those styles, I don't think Devin Haney has. Those are overwhelming styles that they brought to Loma, like where they pressured him and bullied him. Even Salido, like, is Devin Haney finna step like that? Do you think because I don't see him beating him with just a chess match. I think he got to overwhelm him with that bigger body and with that bigger frame. Like, because I don't think he wins just a straight up chess match with Lomachenko. I think he has to implement those attributes and advantages that he has, because I don't know.
With Salido, I agree. Devin Haney doesn't have that in him, and nor should he try to apply that style. He's not built for it. Doesn't have the necessary attributes. Teofimo is one of the single most limited boxers I have currently fighting in boxing. He's incredibly limited. And I think that Devin Haney not only has far more skills, but, and also one thing I think is going to take into account is that Lomachenko is not going to fear Devin Haney's power. And I honestly think that's going to work to Lomachenko's detriment. Because if you actually watch the JoJo Diaz fight, every time JoJo Diaz thought some shit was sweet, Devin Haney would check him with a rear uppercut. and then Jojo Diaz will be forced to reset and then take additional shots, which is why, despite out jabbing Devin, Haney was able to clear the majority of the rounds, and shit like that is going to factor in.
We know Loma ain't no JoJo.
That's true, but we've also seen Lomachenko's vulnerabilities. We've seen Lomachenko in there getting beat up.
By a pressure fighter. That's why I guess that's why I'm up in the air with it, because I feel like if he don't bring that pressure, it's gonna be a long night. I feel like if he just try to stay back and jab him, Loma get in there eventually, and you just gotta go to plan B at that point.
For the first 5 rounds, Teofimo hardly applied any pressure. He just kept Lomachenko on the periphery by a decent jab and throwing a body shot every now and then. Lomachenko was too concerned about Teofimo's power, and once he realized Teofimo actually couldn't box like that, then that's when he got confidence, but it was too late. Lomachenko just realized that Teofimo actually wasn't skilled too late in the fight, because Teofimo is not, with all due respect, he's not a skilled boxer. He's a good puncher, but he doesn't have the mental ability to adapt his game plan to fight like that. Because
why do y'all give George Kambosos so much props for beating him then if he's not that? Like
we don't give George Kambosos that much credit. The only credit we give him is that Teofimo clipped Lomachenko and happened to be unified at the time. You don't hear George Kambosos' name brought up a lot.
No, I was just talking about it in our evaluation of Devin. Like, put George is not a scalp to be bragging about. I guess that's what I'm saying. With ultimately what I was saying, like George is not a scalp to be bragging about, and neither is Tio for real. Like,
I didn't bring up Kambosos' name one time. I didn't, because he's not worth bragging about. I didn't bring it up one time.
We brought up Haney, Tio, and everybody they fighting. So I'm just putting it all together. Like them names don't resonate.
Let me ask you this: do you think Devin would have got more credit if he would have fought Teofimo Lopez and beat him over beating Kambosos?
Absolutely.
At the time, definitely.
Just the fact that Teofimo is bigger and stronger, absolutely. Because people were crazy. People when Tio was ducking Devin, people were like, "Oh, Tio would knock him out anyway." It's like, "Oh, okay." All right, cool.
Right, I feel that.
Good.
I do feel that. So what? So you got Haney by split decision, my man.
Yep, I got Haney in the skin of his ass split decision.
I got Haney by TKO 11th round.
Damn.
Get the fuck out of here.
Damn.
Get the fuck out of here. That's real. I respect it. I just don't see him knocking him out. It's gonna be a good matchup, man. I'm glad.
Why would Lomachenko openly say, "Man, this guy looks like a heavyweight"? Live
because
on
that boy is huge. That boy could make welterweight.
Do you not think there's a level? You don't think there's a level of concern in that?
Why didn't Lomachenko say that about Nakatani, who's bigger than all these niggas?
So we can't make an obvious observation about a mug size. That's some type of knock on you by clearly saying, because that boy can make 147.
Look,
he even saying he's struggling.
I'm not no psychologist, but when somebody just blurts something out like that, that showed you they're concerned. Yeah, they're concerned.
Yeah, because Nakatani is bigger than Haney and Teofimo, and Lomachenko didn't bring those concerns up not once.
How big
but
is
Nakatani been fighting at 135 for so long, though, bro.
How big is Jermaine Ortiz?
Jermaine Ortiz is fucking huge.
That's a big guy.
Jermaine Ortiz is bigger than Haney, I believe.
And he handpicked Jermaine Ortiz.
Real talk. Because he had never been in a 12-round fight before. He had no experience. He was a child.
Yeah, I think Loma cherry picked that man.
Yes.
Of course.
Of course.
You guys are brutal on Loma, dog.
You know why? Because he even admitted it. He says, I sparred with this guy.
Yeah, he said he knew him.
He knows him.
So maybe he knew it would be a good fight.
And I feel I felt like he felt like this was going to be like, okay, let me fight him, whoop him, and then that's going to give me confidence to fight Devin Haney.
Right, because he's bigger. He's bigger than Haney. He's around the same comparable power. You know, I don't want to say similar styles, but he's very aggressive. He's actually more aggressive than Devin Haney. So he figured this would be a good indicator, and that's why after the fight, he was, you saw his face.
He's looking like, man.
He looked like Triple G after the second Canelo fight. He was like, oh, fuck.
He's
great.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I just fought this dude, man. I barely made it out this one.
In fact, he looked like Triple G after he fought Deverenchenko. You saw how when they announced him as the winner, his eyes went down to the floor. He was like, "Ooh, fuck this! I might have to wrap this shit up."
That's the funniest fucking like post-fight interview I've ever seen. I say next to the Floyd one, but when they were talking to him and the crowd just started booing him, like, man, and he was like, "Hey guys, this is boxing." I was like, "Oh Lord."
No, guys, it's boxing.
He's a good fighter. It's
I do
boxing.
my best. He was like, "Nigga, we seen you lose that shit."
Man, y'all got Loma fucked up, man. I respect y'all opinion. This is gonna be a good one. I'm definitely putting my money on Loma stopping him in the 11th, though, man. I just can't see it. I think that boy too green for him.
Because the only way I see Loma doing this if he really comes back like he drunk the Fountain of Youth or something, and he because he would have got his ass cooked.
I think that's a milestone in this man's life where he on that bullshit too, though. Like he ain't never been undisputed. Like he coming for blood, bro. Like I hope
you would assume that. You would assume
desire.
That. Just like we assumed that Andrew Ruiz was going to be prepared to fight Joshua the second fight. We just assumed it.
Cool. I didn't assume that.
Shit.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I saw that boy on Instagram.
I saw his
nigga who ain't never had shit.
Right. I saw his fat ass buying Rolls Royces and shit.
I swear to God, big ass Cuban chains and shit. I'm like,
right, yeah, nah. I didn't pick that nigga to win the second fight.
Motherfuckers was picking him though.
No, yeah, people were. A lot of people were, but I didn't. Just like a lot of people were picking Joshua to beat Usyk. I didn't pick Joshua either time. I was like, no. I was like, nope, he's not gonna win this.
Yeah, I got Usyk beating Fury.
No, I never have.
I don't even think that fight gonna happen, man.
Yeah, Fury.
I think Fury ducking him.
Yeah, Fury is ducking him. He said it. Usyk offered him 70-30 his way, and Fury still said no. That's a blatant duck.
Yeah. I don't see how motherfuckers let him escape with that. And people got the nerve to act like Fury didn't duck him. Like I be reading shit like they like Usyk duck because he put out the negotiation. I ain't got time to keep playing with you, man. I already said 70-30. What the fuck you want me to fight you for free? You know what I mean?
Maybe Tyson Fury is injured, or maybe he's aged overnight from the Wilder fights or some shit because maybe he's worried about his gas tank. His steroid gas tank, but Fury ducked the shit out of Usyk, and I really don't understand why.
Me neither.
Because I have Fury beating Usyk ass. Now I don't think Fury's gonna stop him, but I think he was just gonna outpoint him.
So who y'all think he's gonna fight next?
Oh, some scrub. They got plenty of people over there.
What's up with that $400 million deal I'm hearing about for all them boys fighting in December?
I mean, that's intel from Hearn's camp, so you can't rely on that for shit. Because Hearn says a lot of dumb shit, especially when it comes to Fury.
Yeah, that'll probably be the biggest.
And you think Hearn is going to be willing to put Joshua in there with Wilder?
At this point, yeah. Because why?
At this point, yeah.
AJ is trash. Like he
lost to Jermaine Franklin. He'll lose to Jermaine Franklin fucking around. Michael Hunter and get nothing. He better cash out.
Yeah, at this point, somebody like Big Bang Zhang and knock AJ the fuck out of here. So you better sacrifice him for the biggest bag you can.
Hell yeah. And Wilder gonna knock his ass out in the first round.
Like, I don't see that shit going past like 4 or 5 because AJ's not good. AJ's not good. He's not fast. He doesn't move his fucking head. He's just tired. He needs to just smoke one more time and get the fuck up out of here because I'm tired of looking at him, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think Wilder gonna show him no respect either. I think Wilder probably do him like some Dominic Brazil or what was the last cat he fought, Haney. You hear me? Just no respect.
Well, that's better. That's better than what Usyk did. Usyk was 2 back-to-back steady, humiliating ass whoopings. I'd rather get slumped once by Wilder and just go home in the first than sit there and get my ass taxed for 12.
Art be hating on Usyk.
Who?
Art be hating on Usyk.
Oh, I've never heard any Usyk slander.
No, Art know what I'm talking about. You be hating on Usyk, bro.
Look, I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
There you go. That's the inside hate. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it. Go ahead. Check this out. There's no way a white man is the best fighter on the fucking planet. I don't care what nobody talking about. You cannot tell me, oh man, Usyk, man, he's better than fucking Charlo, Spence, Bud Crawford, motherfucker, all these guys, Wilder, all that. I don't believe it, man. You put Usyk in there with Wilder, I think Wilder will stop that man. Easy.
Yeah, me too.
Easy.
Not easy, but he will.
You know why? And you know why I feel like he knows that? Because think about it. If Fury is bullshitting, you can easily make a big money fight against Wilder in New York.
Or in Saudi. Get that Saudi money.
That's so easy. But he said, nah, I'd rather take my fucking chances with bad knee Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, literally fucking AJ from Wish.
Yeah, and the motherfucker's broken now.
Yeah, he was never good. I remember they tried to build that nigga for the next AJ. I'm like, first of all, AJ himself is not the guy y'all talking about.
What they call him, Triple D.
Yeah, I was
and then they try to put Usyk over Holyfield. Nigga, Holyfield would have said, "All right, I'll fight Wilder right now."
Yeah, Holyfield was crazy. That's
Holyfield would have fought Wilder. What the fuck? ASAP.
Oh, yeah. And Holyfield wouldn't have went the distance with no fucking AJ either. He would have smoked AJ's ass. Holyfield with hair? Oh shit. Holyfield with hair would have bodied AJ. There wouldn't have been no rematch.
I ain't gonna disrespect Holyfield and do the comparison.
Matter of fact, I'm about to post that. Hell yeah.
As far as right now, bro, Usyk, nobody has done what Usyk has done, bro, in the game right now, I feel like y'all
giving him way too much credit.
I mean, anyway has technically, but I feel you. Y'all not a heavyweight.
Too much credit.
I'm talking about all. For you to run through that World Boxing Series tournament, bro, and take her. It was all 4 champs and all number 1 contenders, and you take her in every one of them and go to heavyweight and get 3 belts.
Bud did. Usyk did what Bud did: become undisputed in the fucking lower division, and then go up and fight the weakest champion.
I mean, because the thing is, look, when it comes to Wilder, people say that the heavyweight division is limited, but when it comes to Usyk, people say, "Oh, he's had this all-time great run." It can't be both things. I give Usyk credit for moving up to heavyweight and putting in work, but his cruiserweight run is very overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I swear it is. They're all he aside from maybe Michael Hunter, who is Michael Hunter, and Bellew, all he fought were the same plodding big slow punchers. They were all basically prototypes of AJ.
No, sir. Darkitos, the motherfucking cruiserweight was definitely no AJ. He was laying shit the fuck out.
He didn't fight Dorticos. He didn't fight Dorticos. Dorticos had lost in the series. He had lost to Garcia, and then he lost to Breeders.
It was Breeders. Yep.
My
bad. Yeah, my bad.
But correct. I mean, Dorticos was cool, but you saw what happened to him. I mean, he had a good fight. He had a good fight with Breeders. Don't get me wrong. He had a good fight.
But who was that he fought in the final? Who was the guy he fought in the final with
Garcia, I believe. Because Garcia recently moved up to heavyweight, but Garcia ain't made no noise.
I don't know. I think that's solid to run through a tournament, because if you ain't giving that respect, you ain't giving Ward no respect for his Super 6 run. You got to give a motherfucker respect for running through a gauntlet like that, bro. Like
and as you probably notice, Ward's career is constantly up for criticism, and that's exactly why. I mean, I give him credit for Frost, Kessler, and Kovalev, but once you start getting past those, people give him criticism, which is completely fair. You ain't heard me be like, "Oh, Andre Ward," like it's just is what it is. Some of the people you fought were solid, and some of the people you fought were limited. That's the reality. Ward gets plenty of shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you keeping the same energy, I gotta respect it. I just think it's honorable what Usyk did on the cruiserweight level. Then to have a couple decent wins at heavyweight, and have 3 of the belts at heavyweight. That's some pound for pound top shit, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, but I feel what you're saying. But
it is absolutely pound for pound. I'm not taking away from his pound for pound status. Like I said, I give him more credit for his transition and dominance at heavyweight than I give him for the undisputed cruiserweight one, because that's real. Especially the version of AJ that he fought with only one knockout loss. People were still saying, this is the dude. He's gonna and AJ was the favorite in the first one, if I recall. And the thing is too, AJ had all the tools to beat him both times, but he couldn't capitalize just because Usyk was better. And I have no issue saying that.
Respect. Hey, Art, what we got, David, Morell, and Benavidez? This is my last question. I've been wanting to ask you that. I think it's too early for the fight to happen, but at this point,
I think Morell hurt David Benavidez bad, bro.
I agree.
Real bad, like on some oh shit, damn, bloody mess, bad, bro.
Yeah, I've always had Morell beating Benavidez by decision.
Dude, did you see the last fight? It's like, I'm gonna keep it. I know that dude ain't nowhere on Benavidez level, but it's like, bro, he literally went in there on some just straight Terminator shit. Killed this nigga, and you could just tell there's a level, fucking the level of skills was just super different. You can tell within like the first 5 seconds of the goddamn.
Immediately.
Footwork. And that dude thought he was getting off too. He's like, oh hell yeah, they not what they said he was. That man turned up the gas. He said, oh shit.
That nigga was running for it. Like, nah,
he said, wait.
Like, wait. Well, it's probably not smart for Benavidez to fight him. Then he probably need to just wait on his Canelo shot because he'll fuck that up fighting that boy.
Nah, he's not gonna get a Canelo fight. But Samson already let the cat out of the bag. Samson said that Benavidez versus Morell is basically already a done deal. They just need a venue and a date. So now Samson did already put Benavidez's ass out there, and if he tucks tail and goes the other way, that's some terrible PR.
Ooh. Yeah, that's ugly if he do that because I like David and I think he wants the smoke, but it is ill-advised to go fight that boy Morell if you still trying to somehow pull the Canelo off, because I think it's a chance it can happen. I think it's a chance. I don't think it's just written off like that. But, you know, because the pressure on Canelo, motherfucker, everywhere he go, he can't escape the Benavidez question, you know. So maybe that'll, you know, push him to make his move. But I just don't want David Benavidez to fuck that up because, like you say, if he going there against Morell, it's going to be ugly early.
Wait, Morell ducked David Benavidez? Rai in the comments says that Morell already ducked David. When did this happen? Because
I did read an article that said that who was that, Ronnie Shields or somebody said that Morell need a couple more fights or something like that. You know, I don't think it was no duck where a motherfucker ducked the move, but I think, you know, some words were said that Morell probably need a couple more fights.
Because I'm like, how that happened when Samson allegedly said they got a deal in ink. So I'm like, where's the duckage if they was already cutting deals?
Well, that was earlier. I just heard. Didn't Samson say this just recently?
Samson said that like sometime last year. He said it last year, where he said that the fight, contractually speaking, all the terms and conditions, money and all that is basically set. They just need a date and venue, but it's already pre-signed. They just need the date and venue, according to Samson Lickowitz himself. So don't quote me on that. Talk to Samson. But yeah, no, I didn't hear about the duck. I mean, if he did duck, then I mean we'll call it that. But you can't call him duck if he comes out and fights this nigga.
Yeah. What y'all think about Haney saying that he'll stick around at 135 to fight either Shakur or Tank?
I think that people I think and that could be true, but I think that the fact that he said that is because he's listening to fans. First, everyone after the second Kambosos fight, people said, but with the weigh-in photos, people said that he needs to move up to 140 ASAP. And then when he says he's gonna do that, Shakur spontaneously comes into 135. People say, "Oh, look, he's gonna run like a little bitch. Watch." So now he's saying, "Okay, y'all said I'm gonna run." Now he's doing what the fans want him to. I personally think it's dangerous. He should clear Lomachenko, move up to 140, and try to get some smoke up there, especially if Top Rank gonna offer you the scalp of the Teofimo Josh Taylor winner. Even though I know his dad said Josh Taylor, what's his name, Ben Davison got too much intel from the camp. But, you know, work that out. But I think you definitely shouldn't risk your health, especially with the people you're fighting. You want to be on your A game if you have to fight a Tank or a Shakur. And if you're fully inhibited at 135, it doesn't make no sense. But I'm not going to lie. As a fan, if he does stay at 135 to try to get them, I'm going to support it 100% because that's some warrior shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same way. We got the same sentiment, shit. He stay down there too long, he can get hurt. But as a fan, if that's what you choose to do, and you stay down there, let's go. You feel me? I'm going to either one order or whatever, because them big fights. But I do feel like you done, especially if you take down the Great White Hype. And I hate to say that because I like Lomachenko, but if you get rid of that real quick, just going up to 140, it's plenty of smoke. You know what I mean? Plenty of it.
You got Regis. You got Regis who took his punk ass back to Matchroom. You and Eddie Hearn got a good relationship. Y'all can fight in Saudi for, you know, however much money. You got Richardson Hitchens who's been talking shit. And then you got Teofimo Taylor. You got Rolly. You can always clear Rolly. But I don't know if Rolly will fight Devin.
That'll be a good fight. I mean, that'll be decent though. You feel me? Like just for as publicity and just, you know, shit, making some shit make sense. If you can't get the top dogs in there, Rolly a good little promotional marketing move who would make a nice fight, get some good numbers in and shit.
Right.
And his other mugs though, like probably people we ain't gonna see, but I really like Gary Antoine Russell at 140 for real. Like I like him a lot.
Well, he's
But,
having personal issues because he's coming back from a shoulder injury. His father was the head of the camp, and his father passed away. So, I like Gary too, but he has to regulate his personal situation. He's going through some things. He's got a fight coming up, I know, because he was supposed to get the Playo shot, but Playo fucked his shit all up cheating. So yeah, like Gary is going to be good. He just got to get his personal situation together, his physical and his emotional, but he'll be back.
Yeah, it's just I was just saying 140 a hell of a division right now. So Haney could play ball up there for a minute because I think he peak out at welterweight. You know what I mean? I think he stopped at welterweight, but shit, it's a lot of smoke at 140. Like it ain't been like this in a long time where it's just this much smoke at 140. So shit, I like to see him fight all them guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out. But like I said, if he wants to do that, I'm gonna be against it. Like I personally wouldn't want him to do that, but if he does, I'm gonna support that decision because I want to see those fights. And the thing is too, if he manages to clear them while being weight drained, like just man, that should be nuts. Like you can retire off that alone. Just all right, bye.
But he don't get past Tank though.
Hey, the reason why I like Haney versus Loma is because, man, y'all was saying it. I don't know if you were saying it, but people were saying, "Oh man, Tank was ducking Lomachenko. He was ducking, all that shit, man." What y'all think about that? Did Tank really duck Lomachenko?
I don't want to I like Tank, and I'm not gonna lie. Part of my affinity for Tank doesn't want me to put that jacket on him. And the thing is, too, we can't confirm if there was ever an opportunity for Tank to fight Lomachenko, any sort of contract offered to where their camp turned it down. We can't confirm. The only thing we can confirm that was real is that when Mayweather and Tank first had public beef, Mayweather fucked up and said, look, you keep running that mouth, I'm going to make the Lomachenko fight, and then we'll see what happens. And then Tank got back under control publicly. That's the only thing we can confirm. The rest of it is pure conjecture.
And I think that's a testament to who Loma is because Loma would have beat that boy ass at such a young age. And Floyd, that was a threat on some. You keep playing, I'm going to throw you in there with them dogs instead of how I'm bringing you up. And you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. But I don't think there was no ducking going on. I don't know. I think ducking is just rare and more rare than people make it seem. Like I don't think these guys be ducking. I think these networks and these promoters and I think that shit plays so much into
let's keep the being here. If Tank wanted that fight would be done.
I don't think it would have been smart.
Garcia fight, and guess what happened?
That's true. I think
it was done. It got made.
At 126. Lomachenko would have cooked Tank bad. At 130, it was a toss-up probably for Lomachenko. 135 and higher, Tank would knock Loma out.
Yeah, I think at 130, Tank would have knocked him out.
No.
At 130 it would have been a toss-up at that time. Like Tank before he fought Pedraza, that might have been a toss-up. If he had fought Lomachenko right after, I don't know. That would have been sketch.
He said Tank's team was not necessarily Tank, and I don't like Tank. So you feel like it was a team? Yeah, man. If they wanted it, they could have pursued it. But hey, it is what it is. But Devin Haney's fighting Lomachenko, man, today. And I don't know, man. I just feel like it's going to be another one of those fights where people are just like, well, I told you Lomachenko when, he was faded. I told you.
One thing I found funny, too, was that when Teofimo was beefing with Bob, I remember this too. This is how I knew Bob knows Haney was certified because Bob used Haney to threaten Teofimo back into compliance. He said, "Oh, okay, well, if he's unhappy with what he's making, then we'll go ahead and we'll make the Devin Haney fight. We'll see about that." And next thing you know, his ass got back under control. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So Bob sees some shit. So with Haney going over the top rank, that shit didn't stop me because Bob has had his eye on him for some time.
I know a lot of people feel like the setup might be coming. But the reason why I feel like the setup may not be coming because I feel like they might want to set him up with another deal to fight Shakur Stevenson, or say they can help him make the motherfucking Tank fight.
What do y'all think is bigger business though? Like Lomachenko and Shakur, or Haney and Shakur?
Haney and Shakur.
Haney and Shakur.
Definitely. But I don't know if they would be involved with Haney. I don't know if Tank's team would be involved with Haney if he's still like contractually bound in the top rank. They might use that as an excuse like they did over at the zone. So I don't know. He probably have to leave the plantation for that.
You think Haney team gonna be on their A game, checking stack wraps and all that shit?
I mean, I hope so. Because you saw when Lomachenko got scratched by Jermaine Ortiz's fucking raps. Oh, they had stop, freeze frame, fucking what's his name? The guy who runs Rival Gloves, fucking Russ Abner was back there screaming like a bitch, talking about it was the tape. You see what he did? He could have fucking tape. Like, so they got freeze frame and all that shit. So hopefully, if any fuck shit happens, they can break out the microscope for the Devin Haney fight. Because we all know when Lomachenko gets hurt, they're gonna stop, freeze frame, rewind, investigate all that.
I think Bill Haney a real G out here, and he ain't going for no fuck shit. So I think
especially with his son. Hell no.
Yeah, he ain't going for none of that. He don't go for it in real life. So shit, you see all that Bernard talk digress. You feel me? All that old. Let's just kill all that. You know what I'm saying? I just give him props to dude character, but I say all that to say.
Bernard Hopkins said he want to kill the beef. He said, "Fuck that shit."
Bernard Hopkins is a fucking weenie. Philadelphia don't even like Bernard like that.
What happened? I'm confused. What happened?
Basically, Bernard,
he said he was really offended by what he said.
He kind of was like, I guess he was shitting on Haney in a way, and Bill took exception to it and said something, and he made a bunch of references how. Why Bernard, he was saying how both of them went to jail, and he said, my son ain't never been to jail, and he did undisputed, some shit that took you 32, don't knock him, when he doing it clean and didn't have to go through what we went through, and, blah, blah, blah. So Bernard kind of was on some, I just want a motherfucker to keep the same energy when they see me and try to, switch the energy a little bit, you know what I'm saying? While Haney trying to keep it on the up and up with the boxing and the character thing, but he tried to go on some gangster shit, and Bill Haney responded real respectfully. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of kill all that talk. Like, you don't know who I am. His mama was on the live and all that, and Bill Haney was just on some, ain't nobody gonna touch me, and let's not even talk about that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right, nigga. I'm from the Bay, nigga. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm from the Bay. I'm a boss, and he on some. I've been riding Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis before I even had Devin. Like, I ain't living vicariously through my son. I'm just on some black man. Don't be putting down a young black man type shit. You know what I mean? So it was real G. Yeah, no,
Bernard Hopkins is a fucking weirdo over there up under De La Hoya's nuts like a bitch. Just because you smoked up all your money like Oscar, man. Shut the fuck up. Nobody care what B-Hop got to say. I swear, the 80s, 90s, like the 90s, early 2000s popular fighter to fucking bozo pipeline needs to be studied. Like, why do all you dudes who can't manage to keep your earnings from boxing when you got to go into commentating and propaganda to make a living? Why y'all always doing off-brand bozo shit? I'm talking about B-Hop, Tarver, Malinaji, Roy, Bradley, Ward. Like, all y'all are weird. Like, why can't you just call shit straight up? What is wrong with y'all?
I see a little bit of Mike Tyson. I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Oh my God, Mike Tyson is a fucking bozo. Like, he's a straight bozo.
I posted on Twitter. I said, man, I don't think Mike Tyson like black Americans.
That's because with his weed company, all that corporate weed is white money. That's why he's always saying weird off-brand shit, because he don't want to get in trouble again.
Oh man, it's like he propped these other guys up heavy, dude.
But Ryan Garcia is the draw. Like, shut up, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, man. And then David Benavidez, how you hyped him up as opposed to Charlo, and you just it just seemed like you be always rolling with the other motherfuckers. You know
always.
He's so weird. Like him and Tarver and Malinaji and them, they all got that bad. Roy, Tarver, Malinaji, like they're all fucking weird. And the only black fighter they seem to give any respect is Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
That's the only one. He's the token. Oh, see, I'm not racist. I like Terrence Crawford, see? Or Shakur. I'm not racist. I like Shakur, see?
They never fuck with Spence either, or Wilder.
Always talking shit.
It's like they hate them niggas.
They do, because those dudes were able to get money get money at a younger age without having to fight all the competition that those dudes fought. and they're upset by it. But the thing is, though, those dudes were able to make lots of money, and as opposed to making productive decisions with it by the end of their careers, they made a bunch of.
Tyson was worth like $300 million.
And he kept getting in trouble, kept having legal issues, buying dumb shit, smoking all of it, not investing properly, listening to Don King. I mean, if you listen to Roy Jones in the interview, Roy Jones admits he accidentally gambled away most of his money on shitty business ventures. So it's like, why are y'all hating? It's not everybody else's fault that you have to run your mouth to keep the lights on. You have to open up a gym and be a shitty trainer to make ends meet. No one did it to you. You did it to yourself. Stop hating.
Yeah, and I hate when these old motherfuckers, and
like,
that's in any game, though. You feel me? Be hating on the younger niggas like this.
Like, dude, like he said it on one of the dude's channels, and he was like, basically, they explained to him the cheating situation, and he was just like, yeah, well, it's Wilder's fault anyways. He should have been on some. He should have tried to figure out. He should have sent somebody in there to watch the right reps, and not like basically blaming Wilder from him being cheated instead of saying, that's fucked up, type shit.
Yeah, and I admit there are plenty of incompetent people on Wilder's team. That's perfectly reasonable to admit, but it still isn't Wilder's fault that he was cheated by someone who cheated him. That doesn't make any sense. Wilder wouldn't intentionally let himself get cheated if he had actually been aware of the methods being used. Like I said, saying Wilder's team was incompetent, for sure.
So y'all think, or we go back and forth about this a lot, and y'all probably finna get on my head, but I don't.
We could. And look, before you even get into it, my job is not to convince you. You don't have to be like, oh well, I don't believe it. Hey, that's fine if you don't believe it. I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I know.
I just be wanting to understand where you coming from with that. I mean, even if we agree to disagree, I just be trying to get an understanding. You know what I mean? But my question is,
the reason why I strongly believe and know is because the fact that the mob was financially involved. And if you have an investment in this fight, you will do anything to put yourself in a position where your investment makes you a lot of money and you can go into making that mega fight with the giant $100 million price tag after.
The primary reason why I believe he cheated is because he was banned for cheating.
No. For one, I don't put it past the possibility of him cheating. Like, it just didn't happen. But my questions be like, damn, just as powerful as Fury camp is as far as his ties and all that, I would think Wilder team would be equally as powerful, or at least knowledgeable enough to, you got Al Heyman, they got money invested in this man. This is Fox. This is, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't, and I ain't saying I ain't putting it outside the realm of possibility.
I feel like they slipped up big time.
And that's valid. That's absolutely valid. That is something where Wilder does deserve a little bit of criticism, because I'm not going to lie. His team, Al Heyman, especially when it came to the marketing of the fight too, complete bozos. Shelley Finkel, Diaz, all them dudes, bozos. But the only person that had any competence was Wilder's attorneys. They were the only people that had any competence because they were able to get him his legally obligated third fight. But outside of that, you're completely right. Team was bozos. Finkel trash, JD is trash, Tay Jones trash. All y'all trash.
Look, they really went into the fight right. They looked at the gloves for the third fight. And we can all see on the film and all that, because I had it on my phone too. You can see it, that the shit was still fucking those deflated ass horsehair special one-of-a-kind Paffin sport glove. And niggas say, you know what? Well, we just gonna fight with motherfucking horsehair gloves too. No, nigga, y'all should have been on that shit, dude. Hell no. Fight me with some motherfucking Everlast. We all gonna have Everlast in this motherfucker. But instead, they just said, oh, look, I got somebody else's who's wearing the same gloves, but their gloves look like they have. They don't give a fuck about that. You got to bark on them motherfuckers or tell them niggas we ain't fighting.
One thing I can say that when people talk about the gloves and this and that, I'll say this. Right now, I can go online and purchase every pair of gloves that Deontay Wilder's ever worn. I can purchase MXs, I can purchase Power Locks, I can purchase Grants, I can purchase all those. Give me the model of Tyson Fury's Paffin Sport gloves and where I can find them. Where can I find those gloves? Because they're not available on the Paffin Sport website. They're not.
Not at all.
So, because we did this on live. I went to the website and they were not available. No gloves that look like Tyson Fury's were available on Paffin Sports website or any of the UK or European boxing equipment websites. So I would just like to know where I can get a pair because I would like some. And people cannot tell me where his gloves are available. And the thing is too, Amir Khan sounded the alarm on this kind of thing a while ago. I think leading up to the fight when he was fighting Samuel Vargas, he said that especially in Europe, you can contact the manufacturer and have gloves made have gloves made in a specific way to your individual specifications, regardless of what the commission is doing. So you can get on the phone with them.
All you have to do is just weigh that.
See, that's big. Yeah.
Look. There's so much to this boxing shit, and a lot of people are like, oh no, you thinking too deep, nigga. You can literally have the gloves positioned a certain type of way. All it has to do is weigh the required 12 ounce.
The 10.
You can literally position the padding and all that shit. Horsehair. They even said that these motherfuckers used horsehair so that when they start punching, within like the first 3-5 punches,
it's already hard.
It looks like you're damn near your own fucking knuckles.
And the most important part about this is that Amir Khan said once you have the meeting with them and you have the gloves and the materials to your specifications, they can vacuum seal them after being used to make it look like they're new and then send them to you so they pass commission spec. Because that's one of the commission requirements is that they be unopened. So they can do whatever they want to them, especially in Europe. They can do whatever they want to them, vacuum seal them in cellophane, put them in a box, and make them look new. This is something that Amir Khan called out before these two niggas even got popular.
Man, that and the fact that, look, okay, so the third fight, right? A lot of people say, well, you guys know they cheated in the second fight. Why do you think they was going to cheat in the third fight? And that's something I really question my damn self. Why did we believe that these motherfuckers was not going to cheat in the third fight?
So you think he cheated in all 3 fights?
Most definitely. In the first one, it's clear as day because the glove, you can tell that his hand's not positioned in the right way where he's basically hitting Wilder with his bare fist. They shown it. Everybody's seen it. Ricky hadn't even had stated that, yes, Tyson Fury asked me to pull his gloves a little down, and I did.
And it's on footage.
It's on footage of him doing it. So that's one fucking situation where he cheated. Second fight, you can tell Wilder looked like he was motherfucking inebriated, bro. Motherfucker was looking drunk in the first fucking not just that. And then that goes into the part where you can see Tyson Fury's knuckles specifically in the right hand of the right glove. This shit was so blatant that the photographer for the fight literally closed his public gallery. He closed it until after the fucking Wilder versus Fury 3 arbitration. Crazy.
And also to add to that, his photos were watermarked because that's how he makes his money to protect from copyright. People found the watermarked photos with his watermark on them and said that they had to be photoshopped. People thought that art man put the photos through Photoshop and doctored them, and then the photographer came out and said, "No, that's my watermark. You cannot doctor watermark photos because they've already been copyrighted through like Getty Images or whatever. So you can't even download those to use Photoshop on them.
You can't.
People thought Art Man was in on the conspiracy trying to video. It's like, bro, these photos are watermarked. You just think they're Photoshop because boxing gloves are not supposed to look like that.
And then, okay, that's the second fight. And then we go into the third fight. We all seen it, man. I think it was the 4th round, and I was there. Wilder knocked this motherfucker down. The motherfucker ref literally pulled Wilder to the wrong corner and then pulled him to the correct corner and then said, started on the 6, like, what fucking, he literally paused to pull Wilder each different ways and then recounted. Like, what the fuck? Andre Ward, motherfucking, what's his face? Joe Tessitore, and motherfucking Lennox Lewis was like, yo, I mean, that's a long count, but hey, check this out. And then after the fight, Tyson Fury gets banned from America. And they said the reason why is because the mob was financially connected in all 3 or 4 of his Vegas fights. Especially the fight where he was accused of cheating in. So it's like, man, I get it. You don't want to believe that some crazy shit like this can happen in the sport of boxing, that the world just turned a blind eye to it. But nigga, you just don't get banned from the country for no reason, bro. You just don't. It's the first time in history. So it was a suit. It was Spike Watkins, but we can't forget about this. And a lot of people, hold on, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. My dude, Rye. Now, everybody likes to say, oh, the suit. Well, Wilder said it was the suit. Well, yeah, nigga, if you thinking like, man, why the fuck was I looking crazy in that fucking ring like that, feeling fucking crazy? Was it the fucking suit? Was it something you'll be thinking like, man, what the fuck is going on? You just don't know shit like that has happened to you until afterwards. Sometimes people find out late, like, man, I was motherfucking drugged. And other fighters, other heavyweights have claimed this before. People that we love and respect, Holyfield, George Foreman, they all said, yes, there was a time in my career where I felt like somebody drugged me because I couldn't get my heart rate up, etc. And the fact that I can understand that you can say, okay, that's maybe some bullshit because, you know, why would that happen? Nigga, the mob is literally in this fight. There's documentation of the mob being in this fight. The Kinahan cartel specifically. People who literally caught bodies at fucking boxing weigh-ins. And you're telling me, nah, there's no way. There's fucking way. Hell yeah. There's always way, man. This sport is fucked up. And then the WBC comes out and said, you know what? We're not going to investigate none of this shit. We ain't going to investigate it. Couple months later, you see this nigga photoed up with Daniel Kinahan saying this guy is he's doing such a great thing for the sport. After that motherfucker got banned, man, he had to apologize and say, you know, I ain't rocking with that dude. All that shit leads up to motherfucking Tyson Fury cheating Wilder. And we all know it. But hey, life goes on. Motherfucker got cheated. I feel like if it was me in that situation, I'd definitely move differently. Definitely. Said, look at the Pandorama. Still on YouTube. Yeah. Look, in that documentary, a dude from the UK says, yeah, man, Kinahan was involved in that fight. Some strange things around that fight. Of course. Said facts, art, man. Yeah. Said they don't want to admit it. Hey, it is what it is. Man.
Yeah, I mean, but and then one thing I don't like about this whole situation when it comes to any form of cheating in boxing is people go, oh, well, you know, the mob has always been involved in boxing. Okay, then, so why is what we're saying so fucking unbelievable? Like I don't understand.
Because if the mob, they don't want it to be true, bro. I get it, man. If this was any other fighter, bro, they'll be saying, man, Tyson Fury is a piece of shit. But now they saying it now because they seen Tyson Fury duck fucking Usyk. They're like, man, Tyson Fury is a piece of shit, man. He's really a piece of shit.
And I don't like the lack of attention. I don't like the lack of attention that the people are paying to it. Y'all are riding Spence Crawford. Y'all are pulling out receipts and dates and balance sheets and emails and all this bullshit for Spence and Crawford. Get on these two ass. Get on Usyk and Fury's ass. Get on Bivol and Beterbiev's ass. Don't close the book on those two and only focus on Spence and Crawford.
You know what I heard from that situation? They said that the reason why they ain't talking about it because they've been waiting years for Spence and Crawford.
Yeah,
that's why it's different from Usyk and Fury and Bivol and Benavidez.
Yeah, fuck that shit. We know Spence and Crawford are bigger and better fighters than all the other people we're talking about, but you still need to keep the same energy, especially when you're talking about putting Bivol and Beterbiev, both of them on the pound for pound list at the same time. Get the fuck out of here. What Beterbiev made the pound for pound list for clipping Joe Smith Jr. and Anthony Yard, and Bivol got it for whooping Canelo's ass. Okay, that's great, but y'all need to be riding their asses for fighting, especially because the reasons are illegitimate. Terrence Crawford doesn't seem to want to fight Spence. Not a lot we could do about that. As far as making the fight happen, Fury doesn't seem to want to fight Usyk either. But Bivol and Beterbiev, them motherfuckers have no excuses. They've both expressed desires, and yet the fight is still not being made. What is going on?
And then the WBC just came out and said that they're not even gonna, if they do fight, they're not even gonna sanction that shit as undisputed. Which is
what
the fuck?
Ridiculous.
Man, That's some wild shit. And then people feel like the WBC would look the other way in Wilder versus Fury.
Now, the reality of the situation is number one, they probably think at this point Bivol still loses to Beterbiev, which I believe as well. And so they figure, what happens if we sanction it? Bivol goes and gets his ass whipped by Beterbiev, and then the only person at 175 with a belt that Canelo can fight is Beterbiev. You're not gonna go up to 175 again. Beterbiev will knock Canelo the fuck up out of here. So that's why they want to keep Bivol free and available and fresh, because they rather.
I hate how Mark Breland's name was slandered.
What? Mark Breland?
Hey, look, Mark Breland, he made that shit fucked up on himself, because he could have said, man, you know what, Wilder's tripping. He took an L. I don't know what he's talking about. Unfortunately, we had to part ways, but I wish the best of him. And he could have just kept it pushing. This nigga flew all the way out to the UK, to be on a channel that is sponsored by Daniel Kinningham, to go out there and publicly lie on Wilder and say Wilder don't use a jab, Wilder never listens to me, Wilder. It proves the fact that this motherfucker has some type of motive. Like, why would you do that?
My only thing is, after the first Fury fight, what did people say about Wilder and Mark Breland? Everyone said that Deontay Wilder needs to fire his trainer and get a new one. They all said that. So he keeps him, despite the public pleas for him to find a new trainer. He keeps him despite all of the public comments and advice that he received. After the second fight, when he gets viciously knocked out, he decides to part ways with his trainer. And suddenly Mark Breland is the greatest trainer in the history of boxing and was wronged by the mighty Deontay Wilder. And his name was being slandered. He deserved two questions. One, why didn't you guys get on Triple G's ass after he filed Abel Sanchez? Number one. Number two, why is Mark Breland still unemployed? Why has no one retained him for his coaching services? And please don't tell me, oh, it's because Deontay Wilder besmirched his name in the face of professional boxing so badly that now no one trusts him as a... No, don't do that, because Triple G threw Abel Sanchez under the fucking bus, and he's had no problem getting work. So what is it really? No,
that man went over there to the UK, start talking about, say, Wilder don't jump rope, Wilder don't run on the treadmill, Wilder don't do none of this. He don't do none of that. Wilder just goes in there and just does what he wants.
Meanwhile, there's video footage of him doing everything. Half the shit that Mark Breland swore he didn't do.
Crazy, right?
So yeah, but even
he went on a press tour, bro. It's just like, it's not that hard to believe when the mob is fucking involved, bro. Man, I don't know if you guys know the mob's history. It's just in the world. When the motherfuckers want to get some shit done, they do it. They'll do it. Most definitely. Nigga, spike water is nothing compared to motherfuckers dodging bullets at a boxing weigh-in. These niggas came in with a fucking AK-47 dressed up like motherfucking security guards and was chopping shit at a boxing weigh-in, bro. They still talking about this shit to this day over there. And you telling me these guys integrated into America and they have a fucking big mega fight going down, and if they beat this guy, they get to have a fucking mega million fight with Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia? Pfft. Ain't no telling. Bro, spike water is nothing. Refs counting slow is nothing compared to that, bro. It's nothing.
I mean, people forget Usyk accused Derek Chisora of glove cheating. Usyk in a fight where he won accused Derek Chisora of cheating with gloves. So it's like y'all need to just stop all this nonsense. And also, for those who talking shit, yeah, Deontay Wilder got in a little situation. It was a concealed gun charge. Demetrius Andrade had the same thing happen to him in fucking Connecticut or some shit. It's nothing. He gonna pay that little money and be out. It's fine.
They acting like this nigga about to get 10 years or some shit.
Man, celebrities don't go down for guns, man. Snoop Dogg pulled up to LAX with machine guns and all that shit and didn't nothing happen.
Just got to pay that fee.
Yeah, pay to go down there.
We might get that Wilder fight sooner than expected.
Yeah, you go down there, you bond out or whatever, you sign a little paperwork, you slide the DA a little cheese to not really go forward press charges, and then you get the fuck up out of there. That's it. That's all they want.
Made a mistake. I thought I was, that's how we do it in the country. You keep guns.
Yeah, the niggas from Alabama, you probably got guns everywhere.
The motherfucker has a gun range in his house.
Right. There's half his house is exclusively for like artillery and shit. He got like a compound where half
Fury versus Wilder 4. I ain't gonna lie, that should be sounding more realistic every time I hear it. The reason why is because I feel like we live in this day and age where boxing kind of wants the casual fans now. Because after this, especially after the success of Ryan versus motherfucking Tank, they need a big heavyweight fight again. And they're going to have to put something together. Think about the big heavyweight fight. What is that's going to generate a lot of money? Honestly believe that a Fury versus Wilder 4 would do more money than a Usyk versus Wilder. I mean, Usyk versus Fury, if that was here. That's why they rushing over to the motherfucking Saudi and shit to try to hopefully they can finesse these guys out of hundreds of millions, because they already know that shit's not going to sell like that.
Well, I mean,
when I say sell like that, especially to pay the purses that these guys want and expect.
Well, Wilder and Fury didn't really get that much as far as guaranteed purse. Most of their money was back end. It was AJ and Usyk that got a lot of money up front. And I respect Wilder for trying to, go ahead and get that money as he transitions out of boxing. But no, Usyk has an opportunity, but as opposed to chasing Fury, but when it comes to Wilder, he's been on hush mode. So, that's Usyk. If he wants to fight fucking Daniel Dubois or whatever.
How much money do you think that fight would do? Wilder versus Usyk in New York.
New York, pay-per-view, or like I think it will sell out. Like as far as attendance goes,
pay-per-view.
If they talk it up where they are in their careers, you could probably maybe do 350, 400,
354.
Yeah.
Attendance.
It'll sell out wherever. Attendance wise, people gonna go see that, especially because like ever since Triple G, America loves East Euro dudes. Whenever there's white versus black, they're gonna go to make sure that America shows its support for whoever the Eastern European is.
Shit, why? Because they doing that shit for pure entertainment, bro. They got money to blow. Money to blow.
Well, the Saudis also trying to wash a lot of shit, but yeah, the Saudis. There's one thing the Saudis are doing is they're trying to urbanize a lot of the areas that are underdeveloped where there's a lot of poverty. So they want to try to bring in more events and get people spending their money and have more amenities for people that are coming to visit, and also people that settle there, like in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai. A lot more Westerners are coming with money to settle there. So they also want to have
I heard they're trying to get that bad rep off of them too.
Well, they can try, but every time there's a big event, niggas keep coming up missing. So they got to stop.
They say, I heard that they publicly whacked off a whole bunch of people.
Well, yeah, but there were a few high-profile cases, specifically journalists.
Yeah, that journalist went missing.
Well, he didn't
had a heart attack.
Well, no, see what? Well, the first journalist, they told him to stop. They told him to stop writing anti-nationalistic things about the government, and they took his ass to the back of the embassy and chopped him up with chainsaws. That was the first one. The second one was over in Qatar for the World Cup, and they told him not to wear any pro-LGBTQIA merchandise, and he thought he was going to do it anyway, and he came up missing. And it's like, I keep trying to tell people, bro.
Yeah, and his brother was on there crying foul.
Yeah, it's like, bro, these countries are not like the United States. Some other countries have resolve and they're very serious about their laws. And the thing is, as a journalist, it's your responsibility to research the laws and customs of countries that you visit specifically so this doesn't happen. Like what
y'all tell us here in America, there's no ignorance of the law.
Right. You should have complied. Like they told you, don't fuck around. And you're not, and the thing is too, you're not some senator's daughter, you're not the son of the president, you're not important enough where the State Department will intervene on your behalf. You're not important enough to where SEAL Team 6 will come and rescue you. Like you're just some guy who works for a newspaper. They don't know, bro. Like it's
This
a
ain't no
different ball
movie.
game.
They ain't gonna just jump in there and get you. They gonna be like, the process of things is
just like in Russia. Whenever writers are publishing the truth about human rights violations and anti-Putin propaganda, they come up missing. It's like, bro, we told you, just shut the fuck up and pay your little rent and just stay out of all that. Like, stop. It's the same as in Chicago. Whenever attorneys are actually trying to sue the police, for misconduct, all of a sudden there are cases where people are quote unquote committing suicide with no suicide note, and attorneys experiencing home invasions. There were 3 cases. There was a black female judge who was adjudicating cases in relation to police conduct. Never thought about killing herself. Suddenly she comes up dead in a river. And there were 2 attorneys.
I remember that.
Right. And then there were 2 attorneys in Chicago suing Chicago PD for police misconduct, and their home got shot up and they both were killed. So it's like, people are not playing with y'all sometimes. Like, it's not it's America and all these other countries. Like, that shit happens in the United States. These other countries don't have half the rules we have.
Man, that shit is wild though. It is wild. And that's why motherfuckers be thinking shit sweet. And that's why right now I'm going at it with these UK guys, because they're like, oh, why does Wilder need a gun? Why would he have a gun? He's such a criminal for having a gun. I'm just like, man, shut the fuck up. You motherfuckers don't know what it's like to fucking have a lot of money, be in an area where motherfuckers is getting popped, becoming targets. They don't understand that, oh, I got to keep a strap just in case somebody might walk in with a strap trying to kill everybody in this motherfucking bitch. They don't understand that type of shit. So they look at us fucking crazy. And a lot of that is just trolling because they know what's up. Some of them know what's up.
Dude, you had dudes that were talking about they would never come to spar you or me in America because they be concerned it look too much like The Wire. It's like, okay then, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they love The Wire, but act like so surprised when shit go down.
Yeah, I
didn't know that. I didn't know that was one of the most streamed shows in the UK. That's scary, bro, to actually think about.
That's why they're so ignorant as far as American life, because they get all of their knowledge from television.
And they probably thinking, oh, Wilder, he got a gun. Next thing you know, he got drugs somewhere.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand that there are nice parts of Chicago. There are parts of Chicago that are incredibly beautiful and expensive and looks like San Francisco, but there are also parts that are not so nice.
They clowning us for having guns just because they can't have them. They be having switchblades and knives and shit, bro.
Yeah, they be trying to.
Bro, I'd rather get I ain't gonna lie, I'd rather get in a bang out with somebody rather than fucking trying to stab a motherfucker running up on me with a machete and I don't got nothing to clip them with.
Yeah, they over there robbing liquor stores with crossbows. Like, fucking
there's a video right now of like in the UK. There was like 10 people trying to break, or 6 people trying to break into a house.
Right, yeah, I saw that.
Right.
Yeah.
And all Americans was like, man,
we wouldn't
meet with that shit, boy.
We would never have these problems. I'll lay all them motherfuckers down.
And they're like, oh, how can you Americans be so bloodthirsty? And like, bro, are you fucking stupid? These niggas could have broken your crib, cut you up, all types of shit. Here in America, somebody try to do that shit, nigga, you just giving us a reason to use our tools.
Right, yeah, no.
That's why I feel like that World War III shit wouldn't fly if they came over here. They're going to they'll have to have some serious type of weaponry to fuck with us, because the average motherfucker out here is packing.
Well, I mean, not only does America have too many attack interdiction systems before you even get to the United States, but also doing something like that wouldn't even be geopolitically rewarding. Like, it would just be a lot of destruction. It would cost you a significant amount of money, and even occupying the space, you wouldn't even do it for long because we would stop out of here.
You don't think that they can get over here?
I think no, not really, because there are too many.
I feel like that's why they're so worried about motherfuckers coming here and buying property here, because ain't no telling. There ain't no telling. Imagine this. I'm just saying, I'm gonna put my tinfoil kufi on. Imagine this, that these guys really do have like secret agents here in America, and they found
sleeper cells?
Yeah,
they do.
They're able to set up some type of EMP to distract or cut off the signal that lets them know that they're coming over here. And then imagine these niggas come over with like 1,000 fucking fighter jets all at once.
Nigga, this is the plot to Modern Warfare 2.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking exactly like that, but more intricate than that. What would you think?
Well,
you don't think something like that can happen?
Well, half of what you said is actually happening, but the thing is, though, I don't think that an air or land based attack, like where they're coming over land, dropping off paratroopers, that
like
could
Red Dawn.
Yeah, that a red dawn scenario wouldn't happen because the United States has, first of all, we have the most aircraft carriers of any country. Aircraft carriers are massive and they're nuclear powered and have a lot of air and naval assets available. So we have too much firepower for that to be effective. And not to mention with our Iron Dome systems and all of our interdiction methods and NORAD and all that, we would probably destroy most of any hostile aircraft that were coming over. But what the first part of what you're saying is absolutely true, though. That's how they're getting into America. As opposed to attacking outright, they're just slowly integrating into politics to make things more favorable to their group. One good example is Confucian centers. Universities, the Chinese government will pay American universities to have Confucian centers in major schools. And a Confucian center is basically some place where Chinese students can go and worship and read about the philosophies of Confucius. But in reality, multiple journalistic outlets, including especially Reuters, has basically said that a lot of these students are foreign nationals and have connections to the Chinese government and are known for reporting information. One famous case is a guy from Harvard. His name is Charles Lieber. He was a chemistry professor. He actually got indicted and convicted of colluding with the Chinese government to recruit other scientists and specialists to provide them with guidance on American patents and inventions. So he's actually going to prison for that, and it's way more popular than that. But yeah, they're everywhere.
And you see what happened to the guy with the Fugees? Like, what is up with all that shit? Now they talking about they got a police station that was fucking that had a secret Chinese police, whatever, or something like that.
Yeah, it was a Chinese intelligence center that functioned as a police station. I'll do you one better. In New York, they actually uncovered a Russian sleeper cell where they were they were leasing office space, and it was actually a unit of the KGB. And it was funny because on the news, once they got exposed, you literally saw a black smoke plume coming out of the office because the Russians were burning all the files that they had collected because they didn't want the U.S. to get all the intelligence. So yeah, this has been happening, and the reason why it's allowed to happen is because at the local level, you got politicians wanting to get rich, selling all this land to land developers, and claiming there's a housing crisis when really all the real estate is just being purchased by others. And
now Texas trying to pass bills and shit saying that Chinese immigrants can't buy fucking land in Texas or whatever, some shit like that.
Of course, and they're all just trying to get rich, but they don't understand the ramifications of this. And people are thinking that because of the Chinese partnership with Russia, that the United States is going under, and they're trying to be on the winning side. But that's not how it's going to happen. If the United States loses economic hegemony, we will just start blowing shit up. People will just start coming up missing.
Motherfuckers, yeah. Because I was watching it, and they're talking about how all these other countries are, putting their money, resources together and trying to make the dollar value like decrease or some shit like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, wasn't there people who died trying to do shit like this?
Yeah, Gaddafi was one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers got killed behind this shit.
But one thing that I want to put in perspective, like what you said about a Red Dawn situation, that was involving Russia and the United States. Before the Ukraine situation,
I thought that was North Korea and the United States.
Well, in Red Dawn, it was North Korea and Russia and like Venezuela or some shit. But in Modern Warfare 2, it was Russia. But before the Ukraine conflict, people thought that Russia was this massive, scary military mechanized force. Them niggas, Ukraine, look at them.
Getting
slaughtered.
I honestly believe that the motherfuckers is just playing bullshit. I feel like they're holding back. I feel like they have way more shit than that. They're just like, whatever.
No, Russia has been experiencing economic degradation because their main exports are energy and like wheat. And every time the American Saudi Arabian partnership, when it comes to oil, has greatly devalued Russian crude. That's how they make most of their money. So that's why their currency has been devalued. So this is an opportunity. Warfare, this is an opportunity for them to generate to get their economy started using wartime production. But everything that they're sending into Ukraine is being destroyed so quickly that they're having trouble catching up, which is why they're trying to cut deals with China and other places to have other currency and be more active in the market because the U.S. has so many sanctions on them. But yeah, no, people thought that they were this massive, fearsome force, and but they can't even handle Ukraine. Now, albeit the United States is helping the Ukrainians, but my concern is that the Ukrainians are playing possum. What are they doing with all this extra U.S. capital? Because let's say we finally get Russia off their ass. What makes us believe that the Ukrainians and Russians aren't actually, on the same side, or at some point, kind of like what if we create a new version of the Taliban? Because the last time we did this with the Mujahideen, we paid the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets. The Mujahideen, they then became Al Qaeda. So what are we going to turn Ukraine into? What we're giving them all this money, we're helping their forces, we're arming them, we're giving them tactical training, equipment, mortars, all that. What are we turning them into in the future? What's to stop them from going against us?
Man, it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, but that shit's crazy, dude. I just feel like America, we really invested a lot of money into our military. So I really feel like it would be really hard for them to try to attack us.
Yeah, no, an actual land invasion of the United States, it's possible, but it would result in heavy casualties for whoever tried it, because like we sold the Iron Dome missile defense system to Israel. That's something that we invented in the United States. So
what is the dome that you're talking about?
The Iron Dome system is a sophisticated missile defense system with advanced radar tracking capabilities that actually monitors a given airspace. And if any missiles, aircraft, or anything try to penetrate a certain area where it's unidentified, they'll automatically be shot down by the missile system. And the thing is, this system is so sophisticated, it can actually shoot down other missiles that are launched. And it was supposed to be a nuclear deterrent for a potential nuclear India and a nuclear Pakistan, or nuclear Saudi Arabia if they were to try to threaten Israel. So that's the Iron Dome.
I know America thinking like, man, the same shit we did to Japan, I don't want them to do that shit to us.
Or what Japan did to us, the Pearl Harbor scenario.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah,
that was real nuts. When I look back and read about that shit.
But
the way American came back after that was wild. And the fact that these niggas is getting fucking reparations and getting treated better than Black Americans here is crazy to me.
Yeah. Black Americans
had whole fights like a little mini war.
Black Americans in our entire history, despite slavery, have never wholesale turned on this country. We never have.
Never.
Yeah, all we did was advocate. Honestly, all we did was advocate for parity. That's really it. When you break it all down, all we've done is advocate for parity with other people in similar groups. But
I feel like America being too involved in the Black situation instead of trying to help us and have us work together, I feel like that's going to be our downfall, because while y'all propping up these other countries, they're reporting shit back to their country, trying to, team up against the United States of America. I feel like we should just be more focused on, like, I wouldn't say go back to the days where they're locking up random Asian people, but I feel like they should be more strict on certain things like the apps like TikTok and them buying land here and stuff like that. Really keep an eye on them. The same way CIA tactics y'all used on us, spied on us, I feel like y'all should spy on them.
Well, no, because when those people come to the United States, they support the idea of white supremacy, and they've done that so much that they've actually blinded white leaders into convincing themselves that those people don't have ulterior motives. But the reality is those people are going to become your competition. Like all of a sudden, you see there's pushback in San Francisco because San Francisco, Northern California in general, has been inundated by Asians. But now you see there's sort of a conflict and some legislative pushback between whites and Asians, because Asians are like, we're not going to be under your jackboot like these niggas were for years. We're coming to actually take over some shit. And we want to establish pipelines for more of our people to escape from China, because they don't want to be in China. China is actually a miserable place to live. They want to come over here and enjoy unearned benefits that they've been able to accrue through the education system. That's why all of a sudden
I feel like America's like, they're probably on some like, well, we didn't let y'all get too far. Now we have to put our foot down. But I feel like it might just be too late.
It is. Basically the new over and underclass is going to be Asians versus Hispanics. It's going to be them fighting for it, because black and whites, we could have gotten together and run the entire world. We could have run the entire world. We have the best of everything. We have the best genetics. We have the best track record when it comes to inventions, warfare, economics, everything. If we had just been able to put that divide aside, we could have had this planet running like fucking Chick-fil-A. But because they're so concerned about the racial division and making sure that whites don't achieve parity with blacks, we've let everyone else come in and benefit off of the hard work we put in.
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. And I feel like you don't think that they're having these type of conversations over there, or they just like, nah, fuck it. No way I'm gonna let niggas get anything. I feel like that's probably why the reparations talk is being more, talked about, because it's like, man, hold on. We probably do need an extra lifeline.
Well, the reparations talk is getting popular because black people are finally understanding that there are no real legitimate political allies in this system. And that every time someone that's a political figure, a public intellectual, talks about actual financial compensation for unearned labor, they either get killed or they get silenced. Because Martin Luther King was cool talking until he started talking about that money. Then all of a sudden he came up dead. And the thing is,
and then come to find out they was involved.
Right. And the thing is, too, white people already have all these other immigrant groups that they have to control. So they don't even want to think about putting black people on in any sort of situation where they might achieve socioeconomic parity. And also, one thing y'all also got to understand is the other immigrant groups don't want that either, because the immigrant groups know, the immigrant groups know that they've been able to capitalize on African American political gains that were earned through our blood and sacrifice. And they don't, because they know that if we were to achieve socioeconomic parity through reparations, we would pass them back up immediately. They would be destroyed. They would be destroyed.
I feel like that wealth gap will be closed within the first 10 years, 10, 15 years.
We would surpass every immigrant group here if we were to get that leg up that they instead gave to them. Now, and whites don't want us to achieve parity. And the thing is, I keep trying to explain to people, it's both liberals and conservatives. Because people will throw their politics in the trash when it comes to their socioeconomic status. When it comes to preserving their class position, people will throw everything that they tell you in the garbage. So y'all got to get off this liberal versus conservative. They're all against us one way or another.
Honestly, I feel like that's why a lot of people on Twitter be looking at me crazy, because they'd be like, oh, Artman is just pro FBA first and he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. It's not that I don't give a fuck about anybody else. It's like, I see that you guys do the same shit. So I might as well just be pro getting our fucking money that's owed, because I feel like that's the only way at this point that can get us anywhere. Because as we see in this comment right here, he says, at least y'all have Asians here in Texas. We have nothing but Mexicans keep coming and making it hard for us guys with trades. They'll come and work for a third of a price.
Well, Southern California is all Mexican pretty much. So, I mean, it's a mixture in California. It's both. At the top, you got the Asians, and at the bottom, you got all the Mexicans. But yeah, no, I definitely understand.
We definitely need the cash bailout ASAP.
And the thing is, too, in the capitalist system, you cannot build generational wealth. You cannot accumulate resources through symbolism. Every other group gets some sort of financial assistance. Like for example, when you talk about helping undocumented immigrants, they're never giving them symbolism. They're never giving them promises. They're never giving them intangibles. They're giving them cash. They're giving them relocation allowances. They're giving them access to public school systems. They're giving them tax reprieves. They're giving them the ability to get driver's licenses and earn things like law degrees.
Bro,
they're giving them those things.
Right here in Minnesota, like you say, didn't you say that Minnesota's like a liberal state?
Well, it's becoming a liberal hotbed, yes.
Here in Minnesota, we have so many offices and programs that's helping Somali, Asian, Mexican immigrants, but there's no program helping FBA. You know what happened to FBA here in St. Paul? We had the Rondo community. They literally fucking took the property away and gave everybody small ass grievance checks and built highways all over the community. Now today, the community is heavily populated with Asians, Hmong specifically. They came in the 70s, and these guys were able to get grants, all types of shit. Now they have businesses all over here.
I mean, look at New York. During
0%. I think it's actually 1% black-owned business out here, FBA owned.
Yeah, look at New York during the COVID. During the height of the pandemic, because of their specific classification, the federal government or the federal government combined with the New York State government actually increased the amount of COVID relief funds they were eligible for. Some of them were getting like, eligible for like 10,000.
Somalis just got caught up here in Minnesota because they was running it up with the COVID relief, nigga.
Oh yeah.
And passing that bread. The only reason why they got caught up because they were sending that bread back to Somalia and shit. Like, bruh, man.
At the school I went to, the university I went to in the Bay Area, my school, they uncovered a drug ring of Asian students importing product, bruh. It was a massive ring. Y'all keep thinking that it just goes to massage parlors. No, these people be running guns, hoes, drugs. And the thing is, this was not a small amount. This was an FBI sting operation that they had been conducting the investigation for multiple years. These people were importing these kids. These kids were between the ages of 18 and 30, and they were importing keys. I'm talking like metric amounts of
I believe
drugs.
it because when I was in Texas, I used to dibble and dabble just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say too much, but man, them Asian dudes, they always had it. Always had it. The peas, the drugs, the cell phones. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, buying that. Man, they was really getting down like that. And this is what they have that Black Americans never had. The fucking pleasure to just go out there and do what you want and not be targeted and assassinated by law enforcement or the federal government.
Yeah, people think that because they're genetically small and not a physically imposing people, that they're not capable of criminality. But one thing I will say though is that all the other groups, they were able to skip the intense psychological reprogramming that we had to experience through slavery, because there was a lot of psychological programming that took place during chattel slavery that a lot of other groups didn't have to actually go through. And I'm talking at the psychological level that was reinforced through policy. Like, I understand that every other group now, because of the way things are having conflicts with the opposite sex, but the specific things that were done to African Americans through chattel slavery were very, very unique, to where Black men and Black women have almost never been on one accord.
Bro, a boxer that we talk about today was literally arrested for driving a white woman across town. What the fuck? Y'all never had to experience that type of like traumatic type of, like you say, psychological changing. Like, y'all never had to deal with that type of shit. Like being in sundown towns and shit like that. Never.
Yeah. And
it affects people today.
Yeah, and also we have to take into account that other groups with more Eurocentric features, you can more easily, if you wanted to, you can more easily absorb into white society. You can just make yourself disappear. You can fuck one white person, have a baby, and then that's like, your next generations are completely white. Even if Black people wanted to assimilate, it's much more difficult because of we're literally the opposite of everything Eurocentric.
Hey, you think? hey. I might have my tinfoil kufi on a little tight for this one, but I also feel like that's one of the reasons why they might try to give reparations out, because there's a lot of interracial couples, and that money will go back to them.
No, I think no, I think it's the exact opposite. I think they know if Black people were actually to achieve socioeconomic parity, that a lot of their remaining women they would be at risk. I think if they gave reparations, that the rate of interracial dating would increase more than it is now, because one of the primary reasons why a lot of other groups really don't want to associate with Black men is because of the socioeconomic status. They understand that with whites, you get a lot of other proxy benefits than you were with Blacks. So if you were to close that gap to actually give us resources, then that would increase the amount of interracial dating. So they're definitely trying to, why do you think they're against the NAACP actually paying off athletes? One of the primary reasons, because do you really want a bunch of like alpha 17-year-old niggas running around getting everybody's daughter pregnant? Like, no.
Hell no. Copper originates, he said, we're not owed money, we're owed the land. They promised us land and money.
We are owed both, sir. I'm sorry, we are owed both. Because we also need financial compensation for the work that made the land valuable. Because before, it was just land and they were fighting Native Americans just to occupy territory. But it was our labor and productivity that was able to harness what made the land valuable. So it needs to be all of the above, sir.
Make this country a really rich country.
And people don't understand that. Like, the United States made thousands of years worth of economic progress in 200 years. Why? Because you didn't have to pay anybody.
You know, they don't tell that part. All they tell us is that they're just mean to us. That was it. They're just mean. And make it work.
And it's annoying because I'm like, look, check this out. Start a company, hire 10 people, and then here's what you get as a business owner. The first 10 years, you don't have to pay anybody any salary. Let's see how far you can go compared with someone who actually has to have capital to pay people. Let's see how far you can go.
Exactly. Imagine if Artman Apparel had motherfucking 30 designers, nigga, and I had to pay them nothing, and they just drew every picture that everybody wanted.
And you want to know some fuck shit? There was actually a slavery case in 1995 in California where slaves that were legally classified as slaves received reparations. And you know how I know? The current Secretary of Transport, if I'm not the current Secretary of Labor of the United States was the attorney that led the case. The only difference was these slaves were Thai. They were Thai slaves. So in 1995. There were people that were working in the garment district in Southern California. They were classified as slaves because they were working manufacturing garments in poor conditions and they were not financially compensated. They sued, got millions of dollars, passed to citizenship, property, and everything else. That was in 1995. So whenever people keep talking about, oh, slavery, we're far removed, we don't know, we can't make the calculations. In 1995, Thai slaves got reparations. Thai.
And now I've seen something where they were talking about that now, of some workers getting that too because of they're being exposed to some type of chemical while working and not being financially compensated.
Bro, whenever white people are working at a job and they get one paycheck and the punches aren't correct, they're able to sue for restitution and wage theft. and people keep trying to use the word reparations, and I'm gonna honestly start coming off that because we need to call it what it is. It's just regular restitution for wage theft. And also I'm gonna start saying that it was a genocide because we need to be factored in as victims of genocide and receive the same protective status as they would the small hat people. So I don't want to say because this is YouTube, but those people as well. So
King Cotton, he looks like you. The calculations listed in the Lend-Lease Act.
Oh no, we have to add so much inflation to those calculations are way out. We need to add so much inflation to the shit. This is why they're just trying to kill it in general. They don't even want to come up with a figure because they know it's fucking astronomical.
That's why when niggas be talking about the trillion, that's when niggas be like, they try to close their ears and be like, I'm not trying to hear that shit. No, nigga, that's how much. This whole $300,000, I feel like that's cool, but we need like at least, each of us need like at least like 800 to 1 point something.
For me, a realistic calculation is, like I said, we just like this generation, we need to give them the every individual that's been affected the amount of money to do whatever they like. So if we can get each individual like 10 to 15 million, we can call it even. They just need an amount of money to be able to do whatever they so desire. So if they want to start a business, if they want to become a doctor, they need to or buy land, do whatever they want to do. They need to be able to do whatever they want to do without incurring debt.
Would you accept $100,000 on
a
debt card a year?
Oh, a year for in perpetuity?
For the rest of your life.
For sure. That's fair.
And your kids get it too.
Yeah, that sounds good. 100,000 is a little low. Maybe $250,000 is probably better because 100,000 is not even really that much money working.
Okay, get a you guys, each family member gets $500K a year, and also you get food stamps of like $1,000 a month, and then you also get housing, certain housing, like you get a percentage off.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Of course, I would have to read it more carefully, but our benefits should also be comparable to that of the Native Americans because people.
Man, I was just about to bring that up because they got that shit here in Minnesota, bro.
Because people keep talking about, oh, the Native Americans didn't get anything. I'm like, they're getting things today. Native Americans, and I believe,
bro, I know one personally who's getting something now, and I be telling her like, yo, you getting all this money like this for real? And she was like, she tried to tell me that, oh, well, the land that they gave us is crappy anyways. You know, the land's crappy. I'm like, you have land and you get money every month from the fucking government. What are you talking about?
Bruh, the United States Supreme Court gave half of the state of Oklahoma to Native Americans in the year 2020. Stop playing. People keep setting themselves up with these dumbass explanations. They get, oh, the Native Americans don't get anything.
Did you hear your man, Dr. Phil?
Who? What?
Dr. Phil. He said Black Americans getting reparations will be a disaster.
Yeah, because y'all would have to compete. Y'all would have to fairly compete on a level playing field, and you're afraid with all that we've accomplished and invented, despite our horrible circumstances, that if we had a socioeconomic parity, we would pass you. And you're probably right, but that's what it is. That's life. And like I said, class position supersedes politics, supersedes race, everything. People will turn on their. This is why niggas can't get anywhere, because people will turn on their own and everything they've ever known to either acquire or preserve a high class position. Socioeconomic status will trump everything. I've seen people turn on their family for less than that. So you talk about like, bro, like it trumps all that. It trumps all that.
Man, it's the hell. But we was going on, man. I gotta get out of here because I gotta get back to work. Gotta paint these pictures. I might do another live later. Fuck it.
All right.
But all right, man.
All right,
Good conversation. We're gonna chop it up some more.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You have a good one.
Yep.